Today's GameDay Media District 16. Today's GameDay Media District 16 tournament coverage is brought to you by
NCC, Tioga Medical Center, The Country Store, St. Luke's Medical Center, Otheon Boutique, Souris Valley Dental Group of Minot, Howland Insurance Services, Frames by Ryan James, D&L Paraffin, Brad Johnson Insurance, Bravera Bank, Continental Resources, Northwest Therapy Services, Nessa Consulting Service, Roustabout Service and Insulating, DA Land, LLC, 701 Cornhole Company, Bingaman Construction, Tioga Ace Hardware, Border Planes Equipment of Stanley, The Bank of Tioga, Tioga Parts Supply, Surge Aesthetics, The Porch, Tegan's Interiors, Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, Prairie Home Furnishings, Farmers Union Insurance, Larson Vossen Agency, Game 1, TechNet Solutions, Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa, Montreal County Health Center, Patriot Oilfield Service Incorporated, Brandy Larson Insurance Agency, Prairie Ford of Stanley, Thrivent, Kyle Hansen, Financial Advisor, Mirex Petroleum Corporation, TNT Measurements Incorporated, MC Property and Maintenance LLC, Rising Sports Academy, Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, Flag Family Media.
Inspired by a dream. That dream is now a reality. Our goal at GameDay Media is to provide a new way of watching high school sporting events in Northwest North Dakota through live audio video streaming services. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch and listen to all the action. We are looking for business sponsors to come on board with GameDay Media to help promote your business as we help to promote our area athletes during our broadcasts. Contact David or Randy Peterson for further details on how you can become a sponsor on GameDay Media. GameDay Media, more than a game.
And as we come back for day number 2 of the District 16 postseason tournament, GameDay Media is glad to be here this afternoon as we have 2 semifinal round action matches starting at 1 o'clock today. Our first matchup will feature the defending District 16 champions as well as the defending Region 8 champions, the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, and their opponent tonight and this afternoon are the Stanley Blue Jays. Blue Jays earning a spot in the semifinal game with a come-from-behind win over the Powers Lake Brook Central Ranchers in yesterday's quarterfinal round. So earlier in the regular season, the Stanley Blue Jays were the only District 16 team that defeated the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, and so we're looking forward to a great match tonight. Of course, the Honkers looking to avenge that loss earlier in the season against these Stanley Blue Jays, and the Stanley Blue Jays would like nothing more then to knock the Kenmare Honkers out of the championship game tomorrow, or on Monday, excuse me, and earn themselves a spot for the championship game on Monday evening. We have 3 games in store for you on Monday, starting at 4 o'clock. You'll have a region qualifying game, and following that, 25 minutes after the first game, will be another region qualifying game. And then 25 minutes after the conclusion of that second match, it'll be the championship match that will feature somebody from this first game, as well as somebody from our second match of the afternoon, which will be the Tioga Lady Pirates taking on the Ray Javs in our second semifinal match of the day. And our final match of the day. And the winners of our 2 semifinal match will meet up for the District 16 postseason tournament championship game, which will be held here in Kenmare at Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota. Glad you've joined us, along with myself, Randy Peterson, my production team this afternoon. It is Eli Clark and Caden Keller providing our eyes and ears this evening as we are privileged to be able to be courtside at our district postseason tournament coverage here on GameDay Media. With that, we're going to send it back to our studios, and when we come back, it'll be time for our Continental Resources coaches' comments. First up will be head coach Nikki Heinley of the Stanley Blue Jays. You're listening to District 16 coverage of the postseason tournament here on Game D, powered up by our NCC Sports Desk on our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. We'll step aside, come back after this 2-minute timeout.
At NCC, Northwest North Dakota is our backyard. The individuals and businesses who rely on NCC's services aren't just our customers. You're our neighbors, our friends, and our families. That's why we're committed to providing the high-quality internet, video, phone, and security systems you need to stay connected with the friendly, local service you deserve. NCC, making connections in Northwest North Dakota.
At Haugland Insurance Services, we are passionate about protecting farmers and ranchers. With extensive agricultural knowledge, we have the tools to protect your profit and minimize risk. Whether it's crop and livestock insurance or farm property and liability, we protect your hard-earned assets. We can also assist with farm transitions, commercial insurance, life, health, and disability coverage. You work hard to feed our world, and we work tirelessly to protect what you've grown and built. Call us at 701-965-4066 or visit us online at HauglandInsuranceServices.com.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
D&L Paraffin Incorporated is a local family-owned hot oil company that has been in operation since 1981. We work hard to develop good business relationships with the oilfield companies in the Tioga area. While offering services north of Lake Sakakawea, we focus on integrity, hard work, and safety. For all hot oil services, call dispatch at 701-641-3065 or 701-641-6310. And for hiring information, be sure to follow us on Facebook at DL Paraffin.
And welcome back into Game Day Media at the NCC Sports Desk. It's time now for the Continental Resources coaches' comments here on our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. I've been able to catch up with head coach Nikki Heinley of the Stanley Blue Jays to talk with me about their upcoming semifinal match with the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers this afternoon in our first semifinal match of the District 16 day number 2. And welcome again, Coach, to our Continental Resources coaches' comments.
Thank you.
Before we talk about the upcoming match this afternoon with with the Honkers. Yesterday in your first round match, the Blue Jays and the Ranchers played very well, and the match went to a fifth and deciding set. At one point in the fifth set, your Blue Jays were down 11-4, and the Ranchers needing only 4 points to move on to the semifinal game. But credit to your Blue Jays, they didn't quit playing, and they scrapped their way back into that last set and came from behind to win 17-15 to advance to the semifinal match this afternoon against the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. Boy, there was a lot of happy faces on your team last night after that win, Coach.
There was, yes. That was a lot of perseverance on the girls. 11-4, that was quite the deficit we got into at the beginning of that match, or that fifth set. Yeah, they did a good job. They stuck to their guns, and we were able to just prove and got the points we needed to come back and win that.
Well, in my opinion, Jordy Scarr led the Blue Jays last night with a great match and was named our Brad Johnson Insurance Player of the Game. With her effort, came up with some pretty big kills last night, and when she gets her timing down, is one of the top big hitters of the district. Outstanding match for the junior Jordy Scarr last night, Coach.
Yes, we've kind of moved her around a little bit this season, and we found that she's really successful, and she brings the middle. She puts up a nice big block, and yep, she had a lot of great kills last night and really key moments that helped push us forward.
And now on to the semifinal match tonight with the number 1 seeded Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. The Blue Jays were the only team to beat the Honkers in district play this season, so you can try to derail them if you are at your best this afternoon, Coach. What will it take again for the Blue Jays to upset the Honkers tonight in our first semifinal match this afternoon?
I would say our goal would be serve. We did last time we played them, and then last night as well. We struggled on serve receive a little bit. Kenmare always brings a nice aggressive, so we're going to have to make sure that we're passing that, making not making a lot of errors in row so that we can all playable and earn.
Thank you, Coach Heinley, for taking time this afternoon to be a part of our Continental Resources Coaches' comments here on our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. We will step aside for a timeout and come back with head coach Tim Wallstrom of the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers after a few words from some of our great GameDay Media sponsors.
In a world where every dollar counts, we believe in empowering you to do more with your money. At the Bank of Tioga, we help ignite prosperity for you and the communities we serve. Whether you're a family looking for personal financial solutions, a business seeking growth, or an agricultural entrepreneur with big dreams, we have the products and services to help you achieve your goals. Experience the power of partnership and visit your nearest location or explore our online services today. We ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga, member FDIC.
While being the largest leaseholder in the Bakken, Continental Resources believes that we are among the most efficient and cost-effective producers of oil and natural gas on the planet. One of the most effective ways of putting action behind our values is by giving to those communities in which we operate. American Energy is a huge contributor of tax revenue to local, state, and federal governments, an economic catalyst, and a job creator. If you want to work in an environment that encourages teamwork and putting your ideas into action, visit CLR.com to start your new career today.
Based in Crosby, North Dakota, St. Luke's Medical Center's mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate health care for individuals and families in cooperation with the area medical community. Our vision is to be recognized as a community leader by delivering quality health care through a team of dedicated professionals in a friendly, compassionate, and growing environment. Recently named one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the country means our community can count on us to deliver services they need now and in the future. To schedule an appointment, call 701-965-6349.
At Souris Valley Dental Group, we've been using modern treatment techniques and products to help families smile since 1968. Voted as the #1 dentist in Minot, our team of expert dentists combine their unique areas of expertise and their experiences to create treatment plans that help each individual patient meet their goals. Contact our dental office at 701-419-8900 or visit sourisvalleydental.com to schedule an appointment today. You can count on us to keep your family grinning from ear to ear for many years to come.
And welcome back into Game Day Media at the NCC Sports Desk. It's time again for our Continental Resources Coaches' Comments here on our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. I've been able to catch up with head coach Tim Wallstrom of the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers to talk with me about their upcoming semifinal match with the Stanley Blue Jays this afternoon. And first of all, Coach Wallstrom, welcome again to our Continental Resources Coaches' Comments.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Year in and year out, your Honkers seem to be very competitive, and this year is no different. Despite losing some very good talent from last year's team, your 2023 team were able to regroup as a new team and bring home another regular season first-place trophy by winning the regular season championship. By all accounts, Coach, you've had another great season.
Yeah, we've had a pretty darn good season. We even expected to be a little stronger but we lost our setter. She had to have knee surgery during the year, and both my backups also had to have medical situations where they couldn't play either. So we've got our two middles setting for us, which is not normal. So we're pretty happy with where we are.
And looking at some of the information I received from your team, the names of Ann Strokeland and Lexi Holter seem to show up quite a bit on the stat line as they lead your team in kills this season. And I see a lot of Taya Offworth leading the team in blocks and assists. Every player has a different skill set that they can bring to the table and help make up a team that can win. And what is special about this year's team, Coach?
Well, I think that having my two middle step up and set for me with the injuries to my setters has been a big thing. Taya has always loved setting. I know she's a tall girl, but she still loves to set. And so we have her doing that. And Ann stepped up on the other side because she was passing for me. And now she is setting for us too. That way I have two middles setting. And Lexi is, she was a defensive specialist for us last year. And she has really come around as a hitter and is doing a really nice job.
And now on to the semifinal match with the Blue Jays from Stanley. Stanley was the only team that beat you in District 16 play this year, and no doubt you're looking to advance to the championship match on Monday if you can take down the Blue Jays this afternoon. What's going to be the key factor for the Honkers to avenge the regular season loss to the Blue Jays to play for another District 16 postseason championship trophy, Coach?
Well, I believe that any team in our district could beat any other team on a given night, and I think that's the first two games kind of proved that, how close they were. But I think for us, the main thing, when we played Stanley the last time, I had tried Taya setting all the way around in a 5-1 offense. And so she was not hitting. And we lost them in a 5-game match. So I feel like that if we have Taya hitting now again, that'll make a difference for us.
Well, thank you, Coach Wallstrom, for taking time this afternoon to be a part of our Continental Resources Coaches' Comments here on Game Day Media. We'll step aside from the NCC Sports Desk for a few words from some of our great Game Day Media sponsors as we continue on with our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. Back after this timeout.
Located in Crosby, North Dakota, Brad Johnson Insurance has been helping clients find insurance coverage since 1986. Our team is passionate about serving the community in which we live and pride ourselves on getting to know our clients to best serve their needs. Our staff is active in the public and strives to better our community through participation, involvement, and by supporting area events and youth programs. For a quote, visit bradjohnsoninsurance.com or call 701-965-4200 today.
Founded in 2019, Northwest Therapy Services, located in Ray and Williston, North Dakota, provides speech therapy in our clinics as well as partnering with local schools and nursing facilities to provide on-site therapeutic services. Our therapists offer language therapy as well as therapy for social, cognitive, communication, swallowing, feeding, and voice disorders. We are dedicated to providing the highest level of quality services. To schedule an appointment, visit nwtherapyservices.com or call 701-568-8255.
Voted a top 20 critical access hospital in quality, our Level 5 Trauma Center is ready to handle all your emergency needs with our acute stroke ready certification and full lab and radiology departments. Our physical, occupational, and speech therapy providers are available for all your rehab care, and our family practice clinic provides a variety of care including well child and child immunizations. Psychiatric care is available by telehealth, and mental health is available in person. To schedule an appointment, call us at 701-628-2505 or find us on our website at stanleyhealth.org. Montreal County Medical Center, here to help you throughout a lifetime.
At Tioga Ace Hardware, our store is a member of the largest retailer-owned hardware cooperative in the industry. We are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. As the helpful hardware folks in your community, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Shop the biggest brands all under one roof at 119 North Main Street in Tioga, or shop online at acehardware.com.
At GameDay Media, we believe that we live in the greatest nation in the world. As we pause, let's honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of GameDay Media, LLP, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent by GameDay Media, LLP.
This GameDay Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
MC Property and Maintenance LLC is a family-owned and operated property management, maintenance, and handyman company based in Stanley, North Dakota. From lawn care to snow removal and everything in between, let us manage every aspect of your rental, property, and maintenance needs. To schedule an appointment, call Max at 701-641-2772. Rising Sports Academy, based in Stanley, North Dakota, offering skill sessions for basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, and softball. Check them out on Facebook at Rising Sports Academy.
As we come in back to the Al Sherbinsky Court here in Kenmare, North Dakota for our second day of coverage here on GameDay Media of our District 16 tournament. We have two semifinal round matches this afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. It'll be the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, the defending 16 champion, along with the defending Region 8 champion. And their opponent this afternoon will be the Stanley Blue Jays. Blue Jays were able to knock off the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers earlier in the regular season. The only district loss that the Honkers suffered against District 16 teams. And so can the magic reoccur for the Stanley Blue Jays, or will the Honkers be able to avenge the loss as they're looking forward to getting back into that championship game on Monday? And this Stanley Blue Jays looking also to try to find a spot in the championship match against the opponent of our winner of our next semifinal game. It'll be the Tioga Pirates versus the Ray Jays, as the Pirates have taken down the Ray Jays in the two regular season games. They tied during a tournament, but in the two regular season games, the Pirates won 3-2 on their home court in Tioga, and then swept the swept the Ray Jays 3-0 on the Ray Jay home court. So no doubt the Ray Jays are looking to avenge a couple of losses to the Tioga Pirates. And we're going to keep it right here as we want to recap the brackets. Of course, on yesterday it was the Stanley Blue Jays taking down the Powers Lake Brook Central Ranchers by a score of 3-2. And it was the Ray Jays defeating the Divide County Maroons, a very scrappy Maroon team, by a score of 3-1. And so that sets up today's action on semifinal night. Kenmare Bowbells Honkers versus Stanley Blue Jays. First up, second semifinal round match is going to be the Tioga Pirates versus the Ray Jays. And they're going to play the national anthem here. So we're going to give you a double dose of our national anthem here today. I didn't realize that that was going to happen, but we are going to give you our eyes as we have a tenor saxophone player that's going to, I believe he's the band director here in Kenmare, but he's got the privilege of honoring the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. And we'll put our eyes on him and we'll just keep it right here.
This time I would ask you to please stand for the playing of our national anthem by Mr. Justin Johnson, senior high music teacher at Kenmare High School. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Very nice. Justin Johnson, the band director, the senior high band director here at Kenmare High School, with a great rendition of the national anthem honoring the United States of America. It's time now for our Haugland Insurance Services starting lineup for the Stanley Blue Jays. They'll start with Hallie Larson, a junior, playing center this afternoon. Jordy Scar gets the start. She was our Brad Johnson Insurance Player of the Game from yesterday's match with the Divide County Maroons, and with the Powers Lake Burke Central Ranchers, excuse me. She's a junior middle hitter. And Clancy Hornberger gets the start. She is a senior outside hitter wearing number 6 this afternoon. And Betty Enander gets the nod tonight. She wears number 7. She's an outside hitter. She is a senior. Nora Hermanson, another senior for the Stanley Blue Jays, wears number 8. She is the libero this afternoon. Brenna Winger getting the start. She is a freshman right side hitter for the Blue Jays, and rounding out the starting lineup for the Stanley Blue Jays is Annie Royce, a freshman middle hitter wearing number 16. Coaches for the Blue Jays are Nikki Heinley in her second year as the head coach. And for the Kenmare Honkers, coached up by Tim Wallstrom in his 36th year as the head coach for the Honkers, they'll go with Chloe Grindlin, a senior defensive specialist. Lexi Holter gets the nod this afternoon wearing number 3. She's a senior outside hitter. Ann Strokeland, a junior middle hitter, wears number 4. Getting the starting lineup tonight, Carson Lautenschlager, a junior right side hitter, gets the start tonight. Taya Offorth, a sophomore middle hitter, wears number 12. Brooklyn Rains, a junior right side hitter. And Bria Kress, the libero for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, and head coach Tim Wallstrom, assisted by Faye Alexander and Jackie Rockeman. Our officials this afternoon, as we continue on with our Haugland Insurance Services starting lineup, it is Samantha Vedasaw, and it is Stuart Dolan, the Hall of Famer. Stuart, I think, said he has been a volleyball referee just as long as Tim Wallstrom has been a high school head coach here at Kenmare, 36 years, as Stuart was inducted into the Officials Hall of Fame a few years ago and still doing it. And he's a good one for sure. The Stanley Blue Jays wearing their blue uniforms this afternoon. The Honkers wearing their white uniforms with black pants, black shorts, I should say, as both teams are on the floor giving their high fives to each other as we continue on with our coverage here from GameDay Media. And again, we're looking forward to our broadcast here this afternoon, as I think we're going to have some pretty good crowds here today, as the Pirates are going to play the second game against the Ray Jays. Always have good following from those two towns. Home team on the scoreboard is the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, and the Stanley Blue Jays are also in attendance here this afternoon. For the two matches that we have, it'll be the Stanley Blue Jays with the first serve, and our opening serve is sponsored by Northwest Therapy Services in Williston and in Ray, North Dakota. Yesterday's color analyst was Heidi Barman. She owns the speech therapy provider called Northwest Therapy Services. And she's not with us today as she's being a mom today. So we're going solo this afternoon as Annie Royce brings it across, dug around there, and back and forth as we continue to play as Lexi Holter tips it across as the Blue Jays in the net with the first point. And Kenmare out to a quick 1-0 run as Lilibeth Santizo checks in along with number 13, Brooklyn Rains. So 1-0 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Holter puts the ball in play from the Souris Valley Dental servers row. She's there to dig it out, and up front here is Lilibeth Santizo. Great job by Hornberger keeping it alive on the dig. Annie Royce goes back door. Dug out there by the libero, now brought across, and there's Larson for the Blue Jays. Enander pops it across from the front row. And here's Santizo again going with it. A diving Nora Hermanson keeps it alive as the Lexi Holter doing a great job of pumping the ball up and keeping it alive for the Honkers. Great rally here as the Blue Jays finally get it across up near the net. Strokeland blocked at the net by Royce. As we continue playing on here, great volley and rally here. And there's a double hit called against the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. And the Blue Jays on the scoreboard, we're all tied up at 1 apiece. 1-1 as Betty Enander, also known as Bethany Enander, I believe. And there is Ann Strokeland putting it down just over the kill line. And that's a point for the Honkers. They're up 2-1. Of course, Ann Strokeland, the younger sister of Brenna Strokeland, who was an all-state volleyball player. And filling her shoes very nicely. Here's a set over to Hornberger, blocked at the net. Last touch by the Honkers. And I think in order for the Blue Jays to stay with the Honkers, they're going to have to hit it hard, just like Clancy Hornberger did on that volley. And here comes Cora Bell for the Blue Jays. She goes back to the server's row, and Cora Bell is a senior. That plays for the Blue Jays. Nice serve comes in, does a great job from the service line. And here is Strokeland finding an empty hole on the defense for Stanley, putting it down for another point for the Honkers. As Ann Strokeland goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row, she puts the ball in play. Nice serve, low to the net, keeps it alive. That's the Blue Jays bringing it across with Hallie Larson. Up front here is Taya Offworth with a big swing. Blocked there at the net by the Blue Jays as Bell digs it out from the back row, set over to Clancy Hornberger, and it splits the defense as that point goes to the Blue Jays. Hit the floor on the Kenmare side, and we're all knotted up at 3 apiece as Jordy Scar checks in for the Blue Jays and head coach Nikki Heinley. Blocked at the net, the Blue Jays keep it alive, and now Hallie Larson brings it across with the bump. Here's another set to outside number 11, that's Carson Lautenschlager, and that point goes to the Honkers. They're up 4-3. Tight set here in the opening set of this best-of-5 match here in our first semifinal match of the afternoon. As Betty Enander does a great job of getting it back. Cora Bell unable to bring it across, but a great effort. She comes up with a little gimp in her giddy-up and going to stay in the game. They're down by 2 as the Honkers, Lilibeth Santizo at the service line again, and there's a serve that's way too deep. A little frustrated with herself as she comes out of the game as she's replaced by number 2, Chloe Grindlin. And it'll be the Blue Jays, Clancy Hornberger with the serve, and somehow mishit by the Honkers. And that ties up our first set here, 5-5 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Here's a set to Offworth from the middle, tries to push it across. And there's a wide hit by number 11, Carson Lautenschlager. And this is the first lead for the Stanley Blue Jays at 6-5. 6-5, the Blue Jays, Clancy Hornberger back at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. As we come across, there's a dig now set on the outside to Holter, and Holter drives it home for the Honkers. Lexi with the strong kill, leads second place on the team in kills, and shows why she's up there with the best of them. Ball run down, pushed across by Hornberger, goes to the corner, well placed as the Honkers got to bring it across. Taya Offworth does just that. Now here's Jordy Scar with a little sweep. Honkers catch up with it, and there's a sweep by Taya Offworth herself to match Jordy Scars, and point goes to the Honkers. They're up by 1, 7-6. Bria Crest, the libero, goes to the service line. Hallie Larson brings it back into play as Hermanson brings it across with the roll. Up front, there's a kill attempt by Grindelin. Now up to Betty Enander, tipped at the net as Grindelin is guilty of being in the net. And that is a point for Stanley. We're all tied up at 7 apiece on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard as Brenna Winger checks into the front row, replacing Cora Bell. And Hallie Larson comes with the serve. It's a high serve, floating serve, as Strokeland runs it down, tipped over by Taya Offworth. Nobody backed up the front row for the Blue Jays, and it cost them a point. 8-7 as we go back to the servers row with Taya Offworth. Offworth, short serve and mishit it. Easiest point that Stanley will get all night. Tied up at 8 apiece as Nora Hermanson goes back to the servers row for the Blue Jays. Puts the ball in play. Here's a set by Offworth over to Ann Strokeland. No stopping that one as Strokeland with a big swing and a kill from the left side. It's 9-8 in favor of the Honkers, and Santizo comes back in, replacing number 2, Chloe Grindelin, as Lexi Holter back at the service line puts the ball in play. From the middle, Enander goes with it. Slowed down there by Ann Strokeland, but nobody there to catch up with it for the Kenmare Honkers, and it's 9-9 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard as Enander retrieves the ball, now goes to the service line, gets the nod from Samantha Vedasa, our chair umpire this afternoon, and we go with a block by the Blue Jays, but it lands on the Blue Jays side of the net. Big swing by Strokeland. 10-9, that point goes to the Honkers, but there's a miss hit by Brooklyn Rains, and we're all tied up at 10 apiece. 10-10. This segment is brought to you by Kyle Hansen, Thrivent Financial. Your financial planning needs in North Dakota, call Kyle Hansen or Becky Gettle at 701-628-2384. Kill hits the line for the Honkers, and there's another point for Kenmare Bowbells as they're up by 1, 11-10. As Ann Strokeland now back at the service line for the Honkers. Nice serve, puts the ball in play. Here's a set up to Hornberger, and Hornberger tries to drive it home, but Lexi Holter there to dig it out. She brings it across from the back row. Here's another Hornberger kill from the left corner, and we're all tied up at 11 apiece. 11-11. The Blue Jays are hanging right with the Honkers here this afternoon as Annie Royce, the freshman from Stanley, goes to the service row, and it's going to be Clancy Hornberger getting set up by the Honkers, and she puts it down for another point. It's a lead by 1 for Stanley as Annie Royce continues to serve from the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. And then she serves it into the net. Easy point for the Honkers. 12-12 as Lilibeth Santizo goes back to the servers row again. For the Honkers, puts the ball in play. Good serve, low to the net. And here is a little deke by Hornberger as Lexi Holter Tries to put it down, but Hermanson there for the dig. And here's the ball tapped out of bounds by Hornberger. Just like that, the Honkers take the lead again by 1, 13-12. Santizo continues to serve. Here's a ball that's going to be set up by Hermanson for Tea Offworth, and Offworth, all she had to do is tip it down. And it's a 2-point lead now for the Honkers. They're up 14-12. Santizo with the serve again, and there's a Tioga Ace Hardware ace. 15-12 for the Honkers. Santizo putting the ball in play with some great serving here. Scored the last 3 points. Clips the net, gets a friendly roll here off the net. Up front, Scar brings it across for the Blue Jays. Brought over, and I don't know if that would have been out of bounds or not, but the Blue Jays play it. Up front, here's Offworth with the kill off the arms of Clancy Hornberger. And just like that, the Honkers up by 4, 16-12 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Santizo with the serve again for the Honkers. Now there's a pass up front, a set back to Jordy Scar. Almost missed it. Here's Holter from the left corner, tips it across. Larson sends it over to Enander, and Enander pushes it across. Up front, here's Tea Offworth, a little bump. Roll hit by the Honkers. Now back up to Hornberger, and Hornberger drives it home from the left corner, her favorite spot on the court. 16-13. The Honkers still with the lead. This gives us a chance to thank Flag Family Media, KTGO, picking up our audio feed here this afternoon from the District 16 tournament at Al Sherbinsky Court in Kenmare. Glad to have all their listeners join us here on Game Day Media. Here's a block by Jordy Scar, another point for the Ranchers, and it's 16-14. Hornberger continues to serve from the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, down by 2. Knuckleball comes across, great play by the Honkers Grinland, but the third hit goes out of bounds, and the Blue Jays within 1. 16-15 on your scoreboard. Brought across, and there is a well-placed serve off the arms of Carson Lautenschlager. And just like that, the Blue Jays have scored the last 4 points to tie this first set up, 16-16. Hornberger again with the serve, and misplayed there by Grindland, and Stanley now takes the lead by 1. Great serving by Clancy Hornberger as she's strung together quite a few points here in this rotation for the Blue Jays. Keeps the ball alive, and there's another one that is off the arms of the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. 18-16. One time it was 16-12. Last 6 points have gone to the Stanley Blue Jays. This time, Ann Strokeland runs it down as Grindland's going to pop it over with the bump. Some missed opportunities there as Offworth blocks it at the net, and it's going to be a lift call against Kenmare, and it is now 19-16. The Blue Jays up by 3. Make sure if you're listening in or watching in, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you would, please. If you like what you're seeing, we'd appreciate all of our likes that we get. And glad to have all of our viewers on board with us here this afternoon. Here's Cora Bell digging the ball up, and the Blue Jays unable to bring it across. And so the point goes to the Honkers. That breaks the scoring streak for the Kenmare Honkers, but the Blue Jays are up by 2. Good serve, jump serve. Here's Offworth putting it down for the Kenmare Honkers with a big hit from Tea Offworth. 19-18. As number 14, Bria Crest in again to serve. Here's a set over to Jordy Scar. Goes along the Kenmare sideline. That's wide, and we're all tied up at 19-19. So the Blue Jays had a lead of 3, have let that slip away, and we have a tied set right now, 19-19. Here's Enander coming cross court with a nice hit. Now Holter trying to drive it home, but there's Hermanson with it. And Offworth directs that hit from the middle row and taps it over where nobody is. And point goes to the Honkers. 2019. As the Honkers have taken a 1-point lead, Crest continues to serve. The jump serve goes along the sideline. It's out of bounds, so we're all tied up 20-20. Let your friends and family know we're on the YouTube channel with GameDay Media ND. Got a good match here for this second day of coverage of the District 16 postseason tournament. Again, my name's Randy Peterson, courtside at the Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota. Glad to have you on board. Here's Betty Enander tapping it across, kept alive there. Back on the Kenmare side as the ball bounced across by Rains. Now up front, here's Enander getting blocked. There's a backup by Hornberger, and Hornberger keeps it alive again, comes up off the deck, and this time Betty Enander tries to go along the net, and it lands on her own side of the floor, so it's an easy point for the Honkers. 21-20. Taya Offworth back at the server's row, and she serves it into the net again. 21-21. Nora Hermanson now at the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. Hermanson puts the ball in play, short serve. Strokeland serve receives it, then comes across with the roll. Now here's a chance for Stanley to set up their hitters as Betty Enander goes along the sideline as Grindlin can't come up with it. That's a point for the Blue Jays. Gives us a chance to thank Prairie Motors in Stanley, North Dakota. They devoting themselves to helping and serving our customers to the best of their ability. Call Matt Evans and his team at Prairie Motors as Strokeland's hit is long, and it's like a 2-point lead right now for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays need 2 to take set number 1. They're up by 2, 23-21, short serve. Strokeland digs it out as they bring it across, tapped at the net by Royce. And Strokeland tries to drive it home, kept alive by the Blue Jays. Hallie Larson brings it across for Stanley, and they're not going to catch up with that one as Ann Strokeland drives it home for the Honkers. 22-23, the Blue Jays with a 1-point lead as Lexi Holter goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row to try to tie this first set up. Puts the ball in play. Nice serve by Holter. Now comes across as Stanley brings it across, and here is a ball by Annie Royce putting it down. 24-22. It is set point for the Stanley Blue Jays, and they got Betty Enander trying to drive home the winning set point here as the ball is in play. Good serve, and just like that, the Blue Jays come from behind again to take set number 1 as the Honkers can't catch up with it. Your final score in set number 1, it's the Stanley Blue Jays taking down the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers 25-22. We'll step aside. Come back after this Bank of Tioga 2-minute intermission.
At Border Plains Equipment of Stanley, our vision is to be the respected and recognized leader in agricultural equipment and the employer of choice by helping people succeed. Our mission is to serve agricultural customers and communities by partnering to meet their needs through the sales and support of farm equipment and technology. Visit plainsag.com to check local inventory or stop by at 8141 off Highway 2 in Stanley, North Dakota today.
At Prairie Home Furnishings of Stanley, featuring some of the best brands in the industry, such as Ashley, Lazy Boy, and Shaw Flooring, we have something for every room in your home. From furniture to flooring, outdoor living, mattresses, and decor, we truly have everything your home deserves. Shop our everyday low prices locally in store Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturdays from 9 to 4, or shop online anytime at shopphf.com. For all things home, be sure to also follow us on Facebook. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Roustabout Service and Insulating, servicing the oil and gas industry since 1963. The Country Store, located at 123 Main Street in Powers Lake, North Dakota. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. Napa Tioga Parts Supply, located at 105 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit napaonline.com. TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lack provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351.
As we come back to set number 2, the Honkers are guilty of being in the net, so the first point of set number 2 goes to the Stanley Blue Jays. They're out to a quick 1-0 lead as they won set number 1, 25-22. Brought across by the Honkers, Strokeland from the left corner. Hornberger brings it across near the line. A diving Bria Kress keeps it alive. And here is the Honkers unable to bring it across. It's another point for the Blue Jays. They're the number 5 ranked team in the district against the number 1 seed, the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. If you're just joining us, they took down the Honkers in set number 1, 25-22, now hold a 2-0 lead. Here's Enander with a set by Larson. Hornberger goes to the back row as Grindlin can't pass it to the front. And it's another point for the Blue Jays. 3-0. Enander brings it across. Strokeland with the serve receive. Up front, here's Strokeland again. Just over the kill line with the big swing by the lengthy and Strokeland. That's the first point for the Honkers. 3-1 as Lexi Holter will go back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. As Holter puts the ball in play for the Honkers. On the outside, Hornberger brings it across with the roll. Up front here is Ann Strokeland with a little tip. Now Larson's going to set up Hornberger again, and Hornberger drives it into the net. This segment brought to you by Bravera Bank, a proud supporter of the Stanley community and Stanley Blue Jays, helping you, our customer, forge new paths to achieve your financial goals. That's Bravera Bank, located in Stanley, North Dakota. And there's a block from the middle by Ann Strokeland. It's a block party for the Honkers, and we're all tied up at 3-3. Holter continues with the serve. On the outside, the pass goes behind Clancy Hornberger. Holter comes from the back row with a big swing. Winger now bumps it across, allows the Honkers to set up Lilibeth Santizo, but there's Larson, and Winger keeps it alive. Tipped across by Royce. Great play by the freshman from Stanley, and that point goes to the Blue Jays, 4-3. As Cora Bell will check in for Brenna Winger. 4-3, Bell puts the ball in play for the Blue Jays. Here's a set over to Santizo. Santizo goes off the ceiling, and that'll be a point awarded to the Honkers. 4-4 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard as Carson Lautenschlager checks back in for the Honkers, and Brittany Rains, Brooklyn Rains goes to the servers row. Here's a set, and that ball went off the chest of Hallie Larson, and Annie Royce was getting dizzy, spinning around, trying to catch up with it. 5-4, the Honkers now with the lead by 1. As Rain continues to serve, it's a good serve. It caught the Blue Jays off guard, and it's a 2-point lead, 6-4, in favor of the Stanley Blue Jays. If you got a chat you want to give us, make sure you enter the comments in our chat box. We'd appreciate all your feed that we can get, try to make our broadcasts even better. As Nora Hermanson sets it up for Hornberger off the arms of Brooklyn Rains and out into the stands. That point for the Blue Jays. DA Land in Tioga, offering quality skid steer attachments, farm and ranch supplies, feed and pet supplies to the Tioga area. They were established in 2021, and the Blue Jays are called in the net. DA Land LLC, established in 2021. Stop by and see Adam or Dale. at DA Lands LLC. Here's a set to the middle. Taya Offworth goes with it, finds just inside the out-of-bounds line. That's a point for the Honkers. It's 8-5. The Honkers out on top by 3. As Ann Strokeland now back at the server's row again. Great serve comes across, kept alive. Cora Bell brings it across with a big swing from the back row. Lilibeth Santizo there. Now it's going to be Hallie Larson setting up front row. Jordy Scar, and Scar hit it on the downside of her jump. And that goes way out of bounds, 9-5, as Strokeland continues to serve from the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. Short serve, kept alive there, somehow keeps it in play. Santizo comes across with it, tipped at the net. Now here's a bump set over to Hornberger, and Hornberger gets a friendly net here at Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare. And there is a hit that probably went out of bounds, but Cora Bell couldn't slow down her momentum as the ball goes off of her arms, and Kenmare Bowbells have doubled up the Stanley Blue Jays at 10-5 here in set number 2. Hornberger. Kill slowed down by the front row from Kenmare. Now back on the Stanley side. Here's a short set, and Scar unable to bring it across. It's 11-5. As Strokeland continuing to serve from the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row, up by 6. Another good serve by Strokeland coming across in a knuckleball fashion. Bumped across by Jordy Scar. Now here's a set to Offworth. Offworth dug out there by Betty Enander as Larson bumps it across for the Blue Jays. Back row, Hermanson digs it out. Another set to Larson, and Hornberger unable to bring it across. Frustration kicks the ball into the net. 12-5 for the Honkers. They're up by 7, the biggest lead of the night for the Honkers. And there is another one, and with that we have a timeout on the floor. Head coach Nikki Heinley needs to talk it over. We need a break as well. We'll step aside. You're listening to District 16 semifinal round action on day number 2 here on GameDay Media. Back after this 30-second St. Luke's Medical Center timeout.
This GameDay Media broadcast is brought to you by
Othione Boutique. Shop in person in downtown Tioga or visit their website at shopothione.com.
Nessa Consulting, located in Tioga, North Dakota. Visit nessaconsulting.com.
Frames by Ryan James, located in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Frames by Ryan James.
As we come back live, hey, Icebox Cody, what's up? Well, welcome back to our broadcast, and glad you joined us. My name's Randy Peterson here at Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota. Our first semifinal match underway here. The Blue Jays claiming set number 1, 25-22, but the Honkers in control of set number 2 as Cora Bell. There's good play, and here is the Blue Jays called into the net with a double hit, and it's 14-5. And Ann Strokeland continuing to serve here as Bell gets out of the way of her dig. Betty Enander pushes it across. Now here's going to be a set to the middle. Taya Offworth pushes it across off her chest of Hermanson. Great job there by the Blue Jays, Clancy Hornberger, and that breaks the scoring streak as it was an 8-point run for the Honkers before that last point for the Blue Jays. Hornberger back at server's row. Good serve. On the outside, Taya Offworth tries to bring it across off the net. The Blue Jays keep it alive, punched across there, and went off of somebody's head, but they keep it alive, and here the Blue Jays can't catch up with it, and it's another point for the Honkers. 15-6. Santizo comes in to serve for the Honkers. Puts the ball in play, and Blue Jays miscommunication in the back row, and it's a 10-point lead right now for the Honkers, 16-6. Santizo with the serve, pushed across by Enander on the third hit. up front. Here's Offworth just tipping it over to the corner. Nobody come up to behind the front row, and it's another easy point by the Honkers, 17-6, as Santizo continues to serve. Back set to Jordy Scar, and Scar with the big swing from the right corner drives it home for Stanley. 17-7 as the serve goes back over to the Blue Jays. Want to thank Surge Aesthetics, located in Tioga and Hazen. They're in business to enhance your natural beauty and give you the confidence that you need. Get a hold of Sarah in the Tioga office at 701-641-6429, or call Corey and the Hazen office at 701-870-0529. That last point awarded to the Blue Jays at 17-8. Grindlin sends it to the front row. Lexi Holter brings it across, and well placed, kind of in that little donut hole. Hornberger couldn't get low enough to keep it up, and it's a 10-point lead again for the Honkers here in set number 2. There is a miss hit by the Stanley Blue Jays. It's 19-8 as Annie Royce checking in for Nora Hermanson. And Bria Crest with the jump serve brings it into play. Royce digs it out of the back row. And now here comes Brenna Winger. She's blocked at the net by Taya Offworth, and it's 20-8 here in set number 2. The Honkers 5 points away from tying up this best-of-5 match at 1 apiece. Crest with the jump serve again as Royce going to set up Lexi Holter, and Holter taps it down for another point, and the Blue Jays kind of all out of sync right now. They're down by 4, and it's 21 to, they're down by 13. The Honkers need only 4. It's like almost a double hit, and there's another miscommunication, 22-8. And right now we have another substitution for the Blue Jays as Tylee Johnson checks in for Stanley, replacing Hallie Larson. As Bria Crest now again at server's row. Short serve. Enander runs down the second hit. Johnson brings it across. Here's a set on the outside. Holter tries to bring it home, and she does. 23-8. All Kenmare in set number 2 here as Bria Crest continues on with the serving. Another serve by Crest sends it over to the Stanley side as Brenna Winger mishit it, and it's going to be set point for the Honkers. No room for error for the Blue Jays. As Crest brings it across, Holter stretches high to try to put it down. Here's Holter with the block and off the arms of the Stanley Blue Jays. And the Kenmare Honkers come back with a 25-8 win over the Stanley Blue Jays in set number 2 to take and tie up this best-of-5 match at 1 apiece. We'll step aside. We'll come back after this 1-minute Bank of Tioga timeout.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by Bingaman Construction in Ray, North Dakota, your go-to for all your residential and commercial spray foam and construction needs. Tegan's Interiors, located on Main Street in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook or find them online at tegansinteriors.com. Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, located at 106 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit tiogadrug.com. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Brandy Larson Insurance of Stanley offers home, auto, business, and farm insurance. For a quote, call 701-628-1414. Your local Farmers Union insurance agent.
Murex Petroleum Corporation, a pioneer for today, creating opportunities for all involved. Extraordinary people, extraordinary assets. MurexPetroleumCorporation.com.
Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, family owned and operated since 1986. Offering septic service, portable restrooms and hand wash, sewer jet and camera services. Located in Stanley, North Dakota, call for a free quote at 701-628-2960.
And as we come back, this segment is going to be brought to you out of this Bank of Tioga intermission. The Kenmare Bowbells Honkers claiming set number 2 by a final score of 25-8 after the Blue Jays took set number 1 25-22. We want to thank Rising Sports Academy located in Stanley, North Dakota. They're a sports-specific academy based in Stanley, focused on building an athlete's individual skill set, including basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, and softball. They also offer strength and conditioning programs for grades 6 through 12, along with game-based athleticism development programs for grades K through 5. Check them out on Facebook at Rising Sports Academy today. Also want to thank MC Property and Maintenance, a family-owned and operated property management, maintenance, and handyman company based out of Stanley, North Dakota. We do it all, from managing rental properties for investors, handyman work for homeowners, remodels, lawn care. They'll even push some snow. I think there's a little bit of snow out there. Get a hold of them. If you need anything related to property maintenance or property management, give us a call and ask for Max at 701-641-2772. This tournament was delayed by one day because of that snow and icy road conditions. We're in day number 2 here on Saturday afternoon. Semifinal round. Again, my name's Randy Peterson as the first serve on our Northwest Therapies start of the set. Goes to the Stanley Blue Jays again as the Honkers send the ball up to the front row, and Honkers can't catch up with it, and the Stanley Blue Jays start out with the first point of set number 3. Set is in. Now it's going to be Holter driving it to the back row, and Holter with a well-placed tip, and it ties up the set at 1 point apiece. As Lexi Holter now goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row for the Honkers. All tied up at 1. Off the net, Hallie Larson does a great job. Pushed to the corner by Enander, run down by Holter. As Santizo brings it across, a diving Royce sends it to Hornberger, who pushes it across. Now set up front. Here's Ann Strokeland with the big swing and kill. It's another point for the Kenmare Honkers. 2-1. Honkers had a bit of a wake-up call after set number 1 and destroyed Stanley in set number 2, 25-8, as they dropped the first set to the Blue Jays, 25-22. Right now they lead 2-1 here in set number 3. Strokeland puts some heat on it and drives it home, goes through the block, and ties up the set at 2 apiece. Glad you've joined us here on GameDay Media. Our Instagram channel at GameDay Media ND. Give us a thumbs up if you would, and give us some comments in the comment field and in the chat box. We appreciate any comments. Up front here, Strokeland again, and Strokeland able to play above the net and drive it home inside the kill line. And another point for the Honkers. It's 3-2. Short serve dug out there by Annie Royce. Back row, Hermanson sends it to the front. Here's Annie Royce going to the corner, and the Honkers can't get out of their way. And it falls on the Honkers side of the floor, ties the set up at 3 apiece. 3-3 as Cora Bell checks back in for Nikki Heinley, the head coach for the Stanley Blue Jays. Sends it into play. Strokeland again, diving Hallie Larson, tries to run it down. And up at the net. Actually, they're going to say that the Honkers were in the net, and I was kind of wondering if they were going to change that call, because they first initially said it was going to be a point for the Honkers, but there's a misplay in the back row by the Honkers, and it's a 2-point lead for Stanley. Cora Bell continues to serve. Short serve and goes into the net, too short. 5-4. As now Ann Strokeland goes back to the server's row. Send it up front. Here is Hornberger with the big hit Comes back on the Stanley side as Royce sends it to the back row. Crest digs it out with a diving roll. Now here is Hornberger putting it home for the Blue Jays, but she can't stop her momentum, and she goes under the net and under the line, so the point awarded to the Honkers. And here is a misplayed ball in the back row. And it's 6-5. The Honkers out on top by 1. Strokeland with a good serve, sends it across. Bell sends it to the back row, and it's too deep. It's another point for the Honkers on the big serve by Ann Strokeland. And short-armed it, and it cost her a service error. 7-6. Point goes to the Blue Jays as Jordy Scar checks in for Nora Hermanson. It'll be Annie Royce from the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row putting the ball in play. Here's a set to the outside as Offor slowed down there by the front row of Jordy Scar. Set up to Hornberger. Hornberger, kill attempt dug out by Holter. Now back on the Stanley side. Here's Jordy Scar with it, almost whiffed it, and she does find that donor hole and puts it down to tie up this set at 7 apiece. Strokeland, or excuse me, Royce, a little bit short on the serve, and the friendly net for the Honkers keeps it on the Stanley side. It's a point for Kenmare Bowbells. Jordy Scar with a nice tip right in front of Ann Strokeland. Puts it down, but they're going to call the point for the Honkers as they're going to call the Blue Jays in the net. 9-7. Couple of points there for the Honkers off of miscues by the Blue Jays, and there's a big kill and swing by Jordy Scar, and the point for the Blue Jays. Clancy Hornberger back at the service row for the Blue Jays. Brings it across. Crest serve receives it. Set up front to Offworth. And Offworth finds the corner with a well-placed hit for Kenmare Bowbells. 10-8. Technex Solutions offering measurement, sales, service, and support for your oil and water measurement equipment in the Bakken. Call Jason at 701-641-0647 or get a hold of him at jason@technexsolutions.com. Another point for the Honkers. They're up by 3, 11-8. Crest again with the jump serve, brings it across as Hermanson digs it out. And miscommunication again by the Blue Jays. Cost them a point. 12-8. Honkers again. You can't do that against good teams. They make you pay every time. Here's Hallie Larson to Jordy Scar. Scar dug out there by Bria Crest on the outside. Lexi Holter puts it off the arm of Nora Hermanson. And it's the Blue Jays down by 5 as Bria Crest from the Honkers continues to serve for Kenmare Bowbells. Short serve. 13-8. Thirteen to 9 now as Hallie Larson comes in to serve for the Blue Jays. Down by 4. Holter with the serve receive up front to Brooklyn Rains. As Betty Enander brings it across. Now here's a set over to Lexi Holter. She pops it over. Back set to Brenna Winger, and Winger with the point for the Blue Jays. 701 Cornhole Company located in Mandan, North Dakota. Making your customized cornhole sets. Making your parties even better. Get a hold of Brad Anderson at 701cornholecompany.com in Mandan, North Dakota. Back and forth we play here. On the Honker side, they're setting up Offworth. Blocked by Jordy Scar, but it lands on the Stanley side. That's another point for the Honkers. They're up 14-10. Taya Offworth, about 5'10", 5'11", does the majority of the setting for the Honkers, despite being so tall. Good ball control as Lexi Holter gets it across, blocked at the net by Strokeland, Jordy Scar. And there's a point for the Blue Jays. 14-11. As Nora Hermanson, the senior from Stanley, goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Tell your friends and family we're on GameDay Media. District 16 semifinal action here from the Al Sherbinsky court as another kill by Ann Strokeland puts the lead at 4 for the Honkers. There's an ace, Tioga Ace Hardware ace by Ann Strokeland. It's a 5-point lead for the Honkers. Biggest lead of the set for Kenmare Bowbells. On the outside, Annie Royce goes along the corner, dug out by Holter. The ball too close to the net, and it's a point for Stanley. 16-12 as Betty Enander now back at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Short serve, and it goes into net. Tried to cute it in there, but it was too short. 17-12 as Brooklyn Rains comes in to serve for the Honkers and head coach Tim Wallstrom. On the outside, Lilibeth Santizo goes to the back row. Hallie Larson's going to run it down. Enander's going to bring it across on the third hit. Deep. And now nobody's going to stop that one. You just kind of got to get out of the way of it as Ann Strokeland puts it down with a lot of authority. 18-12. And there's another kill by the Honkers Strokeland. 19-12. 19-12. Brooklyn Rains continues to serve. Larson runs down the second hit, punched across by Hornberger. Now up front to Santizo, and Santizo's wide with her kill attempt. 19-13. I want to thank the Porch located over in Ray, North Dakota, locally owned coffee shop. Mandy Knox and her team serving a variety of drinks with a flavor for everyone. That's the Porch located in Ray, North Dakota. And now here's a ball that's tapped out of bounds by Ann Strokeland. That point goes to the Blue Jays. Cora Bell in to serve for the Blue Jays. Up front, here's Strokeland going with the tap, and it's going to be Royce going to the corner, dug out by Lautenschlager. Here's Clancy Hornberger. I think that would have went out, but Kenmare keeps it alive. Now back on the Stanley side. Here's Annie Royce. That one is out. And that is a tip, or I think they're calling in the net. So it's 19-15. As Cora Bell digs out the big swing by Ann Strokeland. Santizo. Hermanson digs out the big hit by Santizo as the Hornberger with another point for the Blue Jays. 19-16. 19-16 as Cora Bell with it. On the outside, Hornberger tried to find the empty space as Santizo hits it into the net. On the third hit, 19-17. Cora Bell continues to serve. The senior puts it in play for the Blue Jays. Back set by Strokeland. Now back on the Kenmare side. Up front, here is Ann Strokeland off the arms of Annie Royce. And that's a point for the Honkers. 2017. As Ann Strokeland now goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Here's a quick set by Hornberger off the arms of Ann Strokeland. And we go back and forth as Stanley gets the serve back again. Patriot Oilfield Service located in Tioga. Nate Ron and his team would like to wish the Pirates all the best this season. That's Patriot Oilfield Service Incorporated located in Tioga, North Dakota. Here's a ball misplayed by Betty Enander as Cora Bell tried to run it down, couldn't catch up with it. And it's 21-18. The Honkers 4 points away from capturing set number 3. Losing set number 1, 25-22. Totally annihilated the Blue Jays 25-8 in set number 2. And there is a donut hole shot for the Blue Jays. 21-19, that point to the Blue Jays. As Grindelin comes in for Kenmare. And Clancy Hornberger goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, puts the ball in play, comes across. Grindelin serve receives it up front. It's going to be Holter with the hit. And that one is too deep. 21-20. Don't count out Stanley. They're only 1 point away from tying this set. Good serve. Here's a setup to Taya Offworth, and Offworth finds that open spot on the floor again as the Stanley defense didn't back up their front row. 22-20. Bria Crest now back at server's row. Puts the ball in play. Good serve dug out there by Hornberger. Here's Betty Enander tipping it across. Kept alive by the Honkers as it's rolled over by Holter. Now here's Enander off the arms of the Honkers. That point awarded to Stanley. As Hallie Larson goes back to serve the ball, Brenna Winger checks in for head coach Nikki Heinley. The Blue Jays down by 1. On the outside, Taya Offworth tries to bring it home for the Honkers. Dug out there by Hermanson. Pushed across by Larson. Here's a set on the outside to Holter. And Holter with a well-placed tip. 23-21. The Honkers now 2 points away from taking set number 2. Strokeland with the serve. Back set to Jordy Scar, and Scar drives it home with a great set by the Blue Jays. 23-22. Hermanson now back at server's row. Popped into play. Here's a set by Offworth up front to Holter, blocked at the net. Now on the outside, the Honkers can't catch up with it, and we're tied up at 23-23. Hermanson continuing to serve. Stanley not giving up. They've tied up this set number 3. Here's a set on the outside to Holter, or to Strokeland. Strokeland drives it into the net, and it's going to be set point for the Blue Jays. 24-23, the ball is in play, and the Honkers can't catch up with. The Blue Jays come from behind to take set number 3, 25-23. What a comeback by the Blue Jays. We'll step aside. We'll come back after this 2-minute Bank of Tioga intermission.
Born and raised amidst the small-town love of Northwest North Dakota, we at Northwest Communications Cooperative understand the joy of being part of a great community. That's why we choose to pour back into the people who pour into us. At NCC, we offer internet, telephone, video, and security services that are industry standard, top of the line. Based in Ray, North Dakota, we consider Northwest North Dakota our neighborhood. Let us know how we can serve you. Local, fast, reliable. Making connections, locally committed.
At Haugland Insurance Services, we are passionate about protecting farmers and ranchers. With extensive agricultural knowledge, we have the tools to protect your profit and minimize risk. Whether it's crop and livestock insurance or farm property and liability, we protect your hard-earned assets. We can also assist with farm transitions, commercial insurance, life, health, and disability coverage. You work hard to feed our world, and we work tirelessly to protect what you've grown and built. Call us at 701-965-4066 or visit us online at hauglandinsuranceservices.com.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
D&L Paraffin Incorporated is a local family-owned hot oil company that has been in operation since 1981. We work hard to develop good business relationships with the oilfield companies in the Tioga area. While offering services north of Lake Sakakawea, we focus on integrity, hard work, and safety. For all hot oil services, call dispatch at 701-641-3065 or 701-641-6310. And for hiring information, be sure to follow us on Facebook at DL Paraffin.
As we come out of that Bank of Tioga intermission, the Stanley Blue Jays with a 2-1 lead here in this first semifinal match this afternoon as they take set number 1, 25-22, drop set number 2, 25-8, then regain the lead 2-1 with a 25-23 victory over the Honkers in set number 3. We're in set number 4 as we start with our Northwest Therapy Services first serve of set number 4. It'll be the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers with the first serve as Taya Offworth puts it into the net. And the Blue Jays with the first point of set number 4. There's a good serve by the Blue Jays. Strokeland brings it across. A diving Hermanson keeps it alive as Brenna Winger mistimed her jump, and we're all tied up at 1-1. There's a serve by the Honkers. Royce taps it across, tries to find the donut hole, and somehow the Honkers keep it alive. Hornberger off the block, puts it down for another big hit, and it's a 2-1 lead as Hornberger with another kill point for the Stanley Blue Jays. Cora Bell checks back in for the Stanley Blue Jays, leading by 1, goes to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Ball comes across, dug out by Bria Crest, and here's Ann Strokeland following in the footsteps of big sister Brenna, putting it down for the Blue Jays. And when she gets teed up, she's going to pop it down. Not many can stop that as Clancy Hornberger again finds the hole on defense. And the Stanley Blue Jays capture the lead again. Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa located in Tioga on Main Street, offering your full service salon and spa services. Follow them at Facebook at Hidden Beauty on Facebook. 4-2, last point to the Blue Jays. As Holter serve receives it up front. It's blocked at the net by Hornberger again. And it's 5-2. The Honkers kind of out of whack right now. As Blue Jays up by 3. Up front, blocked at the net by Scar. Tipped across as Santizo runs down the second hit. And it's going to be well placed there as the Blue Jays caught flat-footed. 5-3, the last point to the Honkers. It'll be Ann Strokeland back at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Hermanson digs it out. Here's a set by Larson up front to Hornberger. Taps it to the corner. Strokeland there for the Honkers. Now back on the Stanley side as Jordy Scar goes off the arms of Taya Offworth. Nobody backing up the front row for the Honkers, and it's 6-3. The Stanley Blue Jays up by 3 as Hornberger goes back to servers row. And she serves it into the net. My goodness. 6-4 as Santizo goes to the service line, trailing by 2. Ball comes across, almost a double hit there. And there is a diving Santizo and a diving Bria Crest. Unable to come up with the pass to the front row, and it's 7-4 as Hallie Larson goes back to serve the ball as Brenna Winger checks in for the Blue Jays. Larson's serve dug out there by Grindland. Now up front to Holter, blocked at the net by Winger and Scar as Holter comes across with it again. Now on the outside, Betty Enander tries to find the opening and miss hit there by the Kenmare Honkers, and it's 8-4. As Stanley making some noise here in this semifinal match between the number 1 ranked Honkers and the number 5 ranked Stanley Blue Jays, as Holter now finds the point for Stanley. 8-5. Again, Bria Crest goes back to the service line for the Honkers. There's a dig by Hornberger, sending it to the front row. Winger brings it across from the left corner. Now Holter taps it across, and Enander is there, but the Blue Jays are called in the net. 8-6. Crest again from the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, puts the ball in play. Jordy Scar slowed down at the net with a tip, brought back into play by Rains. Now on the outside, here's Enander. And Enander off the arms of the Honkers front row. It's another point for the Blue Jays. 9-6. As Hermanson at service row, and she short-armed it and goes into the net with a service error. 9-7. Taya Offorth back at server's row. Puts the ball in play. Here's Larson with a back set to Winger. Winger comes cross court with it. As Holter goes along the net for a well-placed point for the Honkers. 9-8. As Offorth continues to serve. They're going to set up Strokeland with that one. Stanley, wearing blue, set it up to the white, and the white got the better of it. It's 9-9. As Offorth continues her serving. On the outside, Royce goes to the corner, dug out there by Grindland, sent to the front row as Holter brings it across. Tell you what, there's going to be some black and blue bodies after this match today. Here is Betty Enander getting it back over to Larson, and then here's Royce with it going to the back row. It's up in the rafters, it's coming down, and it's still played by the Honkers. Taking advantage of their home court, knowing how the ball comes out of the rafters. Here's a block by Winger and Royce. And it's 10-9 as the Blue Jays take the lead again by 1. Enander serves, goes cross court with it. And Royce goes into the stand behind the Kenmare bench. Another point for the Blue Jays. They're now up again by 2 points. As Enander continues to serve. 11-9 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. Strokeland this time finds the range just inside the out-of-bounds line. Puts it down for Kenmare with the big swing. 11-10. Big hit by Hornberger with the kill. Back up to a 2-point lead, 12-10. Here is Rains bringing it across from the right side. Now Clancy Hornberger goes with it. It's dug out by Lexi Holter. Santizo comes across with it, kept alive, but the Blue Jays can't catch up with the third hit. And it's a point for the Blue Jays. or for the Honkers, excuse me, 12-11. There's a net serve by Brooklyn Rains. 13-11. Back and forth here. Royce with the serve for the Blue Jays. On the outside, Royce brings it across, well placed to the donut hole. 13-12. The Blue Jays still up by one as Ann Strokeland goes back to the service line for the Honkers. Off the net, Larson keeps it alive, punched across by Scar. This time, Tea off-force kill attempt is wide and to the right. And it's a point for the Blue Jays, 14-12. No, they're going to call a point for the Honkers in the net, I guess, 13-13. Take the point away from Stanley, give it to Kenmare, and here is the Blue Jays tapping it across as Strokeland sends it over from the back row. Up front, here's Scar. Scar puts it down in front of Ann Strokeland. That point goes to Stanley, 14-13. Clancy Hornberger back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. For the Blue Jays, set over to Santizo, and Santizo puts it down for another point for Kenmare, tying it up. Back set to Jordy Scar. She bumps it across. Doesn't get a whole lot on it. Allows the Kenmare Honkers to catch up with it. Now on the Kenmare side again, here's a set on the outside to Holter, and Holter taps it across as Enander sends it into the net. The Honkers now take the lead at 15-14. Santizo with the serve. And the Blue Jays, Hornberger sends it across, and then Hornberger slips on the floor, can't catch up with it, and it's 16-14. Santizo again at the service line, goes back row. Hermanson digs it out. Up front, here's Jordy Scar tapping it across. Kenmare catches up with that pretty easily. Off or slowed down at the net by the Blue Jays. Now that point put down by the Honkers. And it's 17-14. Kept alive by Larson. Hornberger brings it across and runs it into the net. 18-14. Honkers starting to spread it out. Santizo serves it into the net as the Blue Jays get it back. We want to thank Merrick's Petroleum Corporation, a pioneer for day, creating opportunities for all involved. Temporary, extraordinary people, extraordinary assets, deeply rooted in the Midwest. That is Merrick's Petroleum Corporation. That point into the net by Kenmare gives a point to Stanley. 18-16. Floating serve comes across as Lautenschlager sends it to the front row. Holter brings it along over the net. Now going backwards, Clancy Hornberger brings it across off the chest of Grinland. Grinland bumps it across from the back row. Up front, here's Enander. Tipped at the net by Lautenschlager and Offworth. Now Holter on the left side sends it across. Betty Enander brings it across, and the Honkers bring it across with a free ball. And Hallie Larson does her best to get it across, and now here is the Honkers unable to come up with a point. Another point for the Blue Jays, 18-17. Blue Jays not going to go away without a fight. They're down by one. Here's Offworth bumping it across, but Hornberger is there as the Blue Jays are called in the net. 19-17. Court presence, got to know where you're at. 19-17, Crest with the serve for the Honkers. Set up to Enander, she goes cross court with it, sends it close to the stage, but Grindland brings it across. Great hustle by the Honkers. Pushed across by Hornberger for the Blue Jays, now front row. It's tipped across by Rains as the Blue Jays diving for it. Holter sends it wide and to the left with her kill attempt. Nora Hermanson goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Here's a set to Offworth, and it's blocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Blue Jays, 20-18. Taya Offworth with the serve. Blue Jays setting up Annie Royce, cross court, dug out there by Crest. And there's another point for Stanley. 20-19. As we have a timeout on the court, as we have a little bit of a injury as Taya Offworth having a little trouble getting off the deck. We'll take a timeout as well. Send it back to our studios for this word from our sponsors.
In a world where every dollar counts, we believe in empowering you to do more with your money. At the Bank of Tioga, we help ignite prosperity for you and the communities we serve. Whether you're a family looking for personal financial solutions, a business seeking growth, or an agricultural entrepreneur with big dreams, we have the products and services to help you achieve your goals. Experience the power of partnership and visit your nearest location or explore our online services today. We ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga, member FDIC.
As we come out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout, your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard in set number 4, it is the home team Kenmare Bowbells Honkers leading by 1, 20-19. As the Blue Jays lead the match 2-1. Ann Strokeland was the one that had a little trouble getting off the floor, but making sure everybody's in the right spot as we start the set again. There's a miss hit by Offworth, and we're all tied up at 20 apiece. 20-20 as Betty Enander goes with the serve, goes back row. Here's Offworth setting up Strokeland, and push to the corner, and it's out of bounds. That was close. Good idea, right idea, as head coach Nikki Heinley says that away, but they're just a little bit too long as the Honkers come down with the point. 21-20. Lexi Holter serves it, clips the net. Brought across by Hornberger. Now Santizo tries to drive it home, and she does. 22-20. 2-point advantage for the Honkers. As we go up, Royce sends it into the net. 23-20. 23-20. The Honkers 2 points away from tying up this best-of-5 match at 2 apiece. And there is a well-placed serve by Holter, and it's set point for the Honkers. Lexi Holter at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Ball's in play. Here's a set by Larson up front to Royce. Royce off the arms of front row Kenmare. Now setting up Strokeland, and kept alive by the Blue Jays. They're going to set up Strokeland again to try to drive it home, but she can't get a good swing on it. On the outside, Hornberger puts it down for the Blue Jays. 24-21 as Hornberger coming alive here again. It's still set point for the Kenmare Honkers, but the Blue Jays have the serve right now as Cora Bell puts it in play for the Blue Jays. Up front, here's Santizo, dug out by Hermanson. Up front, Hornberger keeps it alive for the Blue Jays. A set out to Santizo again. Hermanson with the dig. Royce brings it across from the middle. Here's a chance for Strokeland. And there's the kill and the set point for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. The Honkers tie it up at 2 sets apiece with a 25-21 victory in set number 4. We'll go to a set number 5 after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to District 16 semifinal action on Game Day Media.
While being the largest leaseholder in the Bakken, Continental Resources believes that we are among the most efficient and cost-effective producers of oil and natural gas on the planet. One of the most effective ways of putting action behind our values is by giving to those communities in which we operate. American Energy is a huge contributor of tax revenue to local, state, and federal governments, an economic catalyst, and a job creator. If you want to work in an environment that encourages teamwork and putting your ideas into action, visit CLR.com to start your new career today.
Based in Crosby, North Dakota, St. Luke's Medical Center's mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate health care for individuals and families in cooperation with the area medical community. Our vision is to be recognized as a community leader by delivering quality health care through a team of dedicated professionals in a friendly, compassionate, and growing environment. Recently named one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the country means our community can count on us to deliver services they need now and in the future. To schedule an appointment, call 701-965-6349.
At Souris Valley Dental Group, we've been using modern treatment techniques and products to help families smile since 1968. Voted as the #1 dentist in Minot, our team of expert dentists combine their unique areas of expertise and their experiences to create treatment plans that help each individual patient meet their goals. Contact our dental office at 701-419-8900 or visit SourisValleyDental.com to schedule an appointment today. You can count on us to keep your family grinning from ear to ear for many years to come.
As we come back to Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota, our first semifinal match of the District 16 day number 2. The Stanley Blue Jays and the Kenmare Honkers all tied up at 2 sets apiece. It'll be the Honkers with the first serve on your Northwest Therapy service start of set number 5. And we played a 15, got a win by 2 here in set number 5. Here's the Blue Jays. Setting up Enander, bringing it across. The Blue Jays with point number 1 of set number 5 to take a 1-0 lead. Back across, and there is almost a misplay by the Honkers. But Enander pushes it across. Strokeland now with it. Strokeland gets it back, tries to drive it home. Stanley slows it down at the net as Hornberger brings it across. A driving Grinland keeps it alive now. Now up front, here's Hallie Larson pushing it to the corner. Grinland with the dig again as Lexi Holter tries to put it home, but 4 hits by the Honkers, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Blue Jays to start set number 5. Enander with the serve, dug out by Strokeland. Strokeland gets it back, rolls it across. From the back row, Enander goes to the inside, and it's going to be up to Strokeland, and Strokeland drives it home for the Honkers. That's the first point for the Honkers as Lexi Holter goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Where's number 3, the senior? Puts it in play for the Honkers. Royce sends it over to Hornberger. Now up front, here is Santizo. And Larson there for the Blue Jays. Tipped at the net, Crest dives for it to keep it alive. Pushed across by Holter as Larson runs it down for the Blue Jays. Now here is Strokeland again with a big kill, and you're going to ride the big horse, you better send it to Strokeland. That's my advice, but I'm just a broadcaster. But her strength is in their hitting, that's for sure. Here's going to be another set to Strokeland right at the net. This time blocked, and the Blue Jays with the point. It's a block point for Stanley. They're up 3-2. As Cora Bell checks in for Stanley. Goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, puts the ball in play. Dug out by Holter from the back row. Now on the outside, Santizo puts it down. She's played a nice left corner for the Honkers this evening. Ties the matchup, or the setup, at 3 apiece. Brooklyn Rains serving for the Honkers. Here's Larson with the dig. Pushed across there by Hornberger. Dug out by Rains. Here's Strokeland again, but Bell there for the Blue Jays. Got to play with a lot of guts if you're going to receive that big kill. Santizo with it. A diving Bell goes to the floor to save it for the Blue Jays. Up front, here's Strokeland, and Strokeland just taps it across, and that's another point for the Honkers. They're now up by 1 at 4-3. Their first lead of set number 5. Again, we played a 15. Ball sent to the front. Larson brings it across for Stanley, and here's Strokeland again, blocked at the net as the Blue Jays unable to catch up with it. It's 5-3. The Honkers with a 2-point lead. That was close to going out of bounds, too close to let it go. Santizo from the left side again. The Blue Jays have got to run it down as Enander brings it across for the Blue Jays. Great play by Stanley. There's a good dig by Bethany Enander. And then Hornberger puts it into the net. 6-3. The Honkers with a 3-point lead. As Brooklyn Rains continues to serve for Kenmare. There's the ball, it floats out of bounds. Needed a downdraft from the HVAC system here in Kenmare. 6-4. Blocked at the net, kept alive by the Honkers. Here's a back set to Jordy Scar. And then Strokeland mishit it. 6-5. This is a close match. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. This is the 5th and deciding set. Offworth runs it down as Kress brings it across. Here's a set to the middle. Scar has a tip at the net by the Honkers, and it's tied up 6-6. Annie Royce again at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. The freshman puts it in play. Dug out by Holter. Now up front, here's Strokeland as Royce on the receiving end of that keeps it alive for Stanley. Again, blocked at the net by the bigs in front, Jordy Scar and Clancy Hornberger. That's a block point at the block party by the Blue Jays. Royce serving, puts the ball in play. Here's a set on the outside to Santizo. And Santizo ties it up at 7. Seven to 7. And there is a Tioga Ace Hardware ace. An ace from Tioga Hardware Ace in Tioga. 8-7. The Honkers with a 1-point lead. Larson runs down the second hit. Kept alive by the Blue Jays. Passed over to Santizo. And Santizo puts the well-placed ball right along the sideline. And it's a 2-point lead for the Honkers. Tipped at the net, but the That point goes over to the Blue Jays as the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers are called over the net. It's 9-8. There's a serve. Lexi Holter digs it out as Offworth sends it beyond the end line. And we're all tied up at 9-9. What a great match here in this first semifinal round between the Stanley Blue Jays, the number 5 seed, against the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, the number 1 seed. As Tim Wallstrom said in our pregame comments on Continental Resources Coach's comments, he says this could really go many different ways as this district is pretty evenly matched in a lot of respects. 9-9 here in set number 5. Tipped across as Carson Lautenschlager puts it down with a well-placed tip. 10-9. Santizo sends the ball across. Hermanson digs it out. Here's a setup to Enander. Goes cross court. Holter there to dig it. As Offworth brings it across, and she finds that donut hole. And it's another point for the Honkers at 11-9. They're up by 2. Ball's in too deep. Service error by Santizo. As Hallie Larson goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Ball's in play. Back set to Lautenschlager, almost caught it and threw it. But apparently he can do that now. 12-10. Didn't look clean to me, but maybe they've changed the rules somehow. 12-10. Bria Crest. As Enander tries to do the same, and here's Scar trying to put it down. Holter keeps it alive. Push to the corner. Grindlin there in the back row. Tipped across, and the ball hits the line, and it's 13-10. With that, we have a St. Luke's Medical Center timeout on the floor. You're listening to set number 5 of our first semifinal match between the Blue Jays and the Honkers. We're listening to Game Day Media here from District 16 in Kenmare, North Dakota, back after this 30-second timeout.
Located in Crosby, North Dakota, Brad Johnson Insurance has been helping clients find insurance coverage since 1986. Our team is passionate about serving the community in which we live and pride ourselves on getting to know our clients to best serve their needs. Our staff is active in the public and strives to better our community through participation, involvement, and by supporting area events and youth programs. For a quote, visit bradjohnsoninsurance.com or call 701-965-4200 today.
As we come back to Al Sherbinsky Court, my name is Randy Peterson here on Game Day Media. Our privilege to be able to broadcast this District 16 semifinal match on day number 2 of the tournament. And it's a 3-point lead for the Honkers out of the timeout. Here's a set to Scar. She pushes it to the corner. Crest keeps it alive for the Honkers as Holter brings it across. Up front, they come to Enander, blocked at the net as the Blue Jays are fighting for it. And both teams are called in the net simultaneously, so they'll replay the point. No point awarded by either team on that play. And so they'll replay it. 13-10, the Honkers still up by 3. Crest keeps it alive, puts it in play, and here is Winger into the net with the kill attempt. And it's match point for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. 14-10 as Crest at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row to serve it out. Here is a serve, it's in play. Brought across by the Blue Jays. Back set, and it's a point by number 13, Brooklyn Rains. And it is the Honkers advancing to the District 16 championship with a 15-10 win in set number 5 over the Stanley Blue Jays. What a match here on Game Day Media. These two teams have nothing to hang their heads about. They both played with a lot of skill and a lot of grit. And hats off to both teams as the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers advance to another championship match on Monday evening. With that, we'll send it back to our studio, and we'll come back with a short D&L Paraffin postgame show. We'll name our Brad Johnson Insurance Player of the Game after this 2-minute timeout.
Founded in 2019, Northwest Therapy Services, located in Ray and Williston, North Dakota, provides speech therapy in our clinics as well as partnering with local schools and nursing facilities to provide on-site therapeutic services. Our therapists offer language therapy as well as therapy for social, cognitive, communication, swallowing, feeding, and voice disorders. We are dedicated to providing the highest level of quality services. To schedule an appointment, visit nwtherapyservices.com or call 701-568-8255.
Voted a top 20 critical access hospital in quality, our Level 5 Trauma Center is ready to handle all your emergency needs with our acute stroke ready certification and full lab and radiology departments. Our physical, occupational, and speech therapy providers are available for all your rehab care, and our family practice clinic provides a variety of care including well child and child immunizations. Psychiatric care is available by telehealth, and mental health is available in person. To schedule an appointment, call us at 701-628-2505 or find us on our website at stanleyhealth.org. Montreal County Medical Center, here to help you throughout a lifetime.
At Tioga Ace Hardware, our store is a member of the largest retailer-owned hardware cooperative in the industry. We are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. As the helpful hardware folks in your community, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Shop the biggest brands all under one roof at 119 North Main Street in Tioga, or shop online at acehardware.com. At Border Plains Equipment of Stanley, our vision is to be the respected and recognized leader in agricultural equipment and the employer of choice by helping people succeed. Our mission is to serve agricultural customers and communities by partnering to meet their needs through the sales and support of farm equipment and technology. Visit plainsag.com to check local inventory or stop by at 8141 off Highway 2 in Stanley, North Dakota today.
As we come back to our D&L Paraffin postgame show, it was the Kenmare Honkers coming from behind to take set number 4 and set number 5, as the Honkers were able to win 15-10 in set number 5 to claim a right to play for another District 16 championship trophy on Monday night against the winner of our next match between the Tioga Lady Pirates and the Ray Jays. So congratulations to the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers as we name our Brad Johnson Insurance Player of the Game. That'll go to Ann Strokeland for the Honkers, as she helped get her Honkers back on their winning ways after dropping set number 1, dropping set number 3, but then coming back with wins in set number 2, 4, and 5 to gain another spot in a championship night on Monday night. We're going to step aside for a quick little bit as we go to our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. We'll have our coaches' comments. It'll be head coach Angie Kincaid of the Ray Jays up first with our first of 2 coaches' comments after this 1-minute timeout.
At Prairie Home Furnishings of Stanley, featuring some of the best brands in the industry, such as Ashley, Lazy Boy, and Shaw Flooring, we have something for every room in your home. From furniture to flooring, outdoor living, mattresses, and decor, we truly have everything your home deserves. Shop our everyday low prices locally in store Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturdays from 9 to 4, or shop online anytime at shopphf.com. For all things home, be sure to also follow us on Facebook. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Roustabout Service and Insulating, servicing the oil and gas industry since 1963. The Country Store, located at 123 Main Street in Powers Lake, North Dakota. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. Napa Tioga Parts Supply, located at 105 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit napaonline.com. TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lack provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351.
Welcome back into Game Day Media at the NCC Sports Desk. It's time now for our Continental Resources coaches' comments on our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. I've been able to catch up with head coach Angie Kincaid of the Ray Javs volleyball team to talk with me about their upcoming semifinal match this afternoon with the Tioga Lady Pirates. And first of all, welcome again, Coach, to our Continental Resources coaches' comments.
Thanks for having me.
Last night in the opening round of the District 16 tournament, your Jays took on the Divide County Maroons. Your match started very convincing with a win in set number 1 by a score of 25-14. Kind of looked like the Ray Jays were going to have some smooth sailing, and you took set number 2 with another win, but the Maroons fought hard but lost 25-22. Then in set number 3, the Maroons were able to capture that third set 27-25 to move on to a fourth match in which your Jays eventually won 25-19. As we talked about on our postgame show, win is a win, and the Jays move on with that win. But I noticed you had a long conversation with your team huddled on the floor. I know you feel that you didn't play your best volleyball last night, but you got to give credit to the Maroons and for battling and fighting until the end, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. We did just what you said. We got a little too comfortable and just kind of sat back and thought they were going to give it to us. And Divide County absolutely was not on board with that. So they did fight hard and they never did give up. So props to them for that.
Last night, your daughter, Maylee Kincaid, was named our Brad Johnson Insurance Player of the Game last night. And one of the reasons she was named was that she pounded the ball last night, was covering the floor, and provided some valuable leadership for the Jays in defeating the Maroons. I thought Maylee had a great match yesterday, Coach.
Yeah, she did. She played really well. And she actually said to me after the game, I finally got to do all 3 things well. I hit, I passed, and I served. She jokes all the time how if she's going to hit well, then she can't pass well that night. Or if she's going to pass well, she doesn't hit well. But last night she really put all 3 together, which, and she's pretty sick right now, so she fought through, which was good to see, and helped lead her team and show them they can do hard things too.
And so on to the match this afternoon in our second semifinal match with the Tioga Lady Pirates. Pirates and the Jays have played twice during the regular season, with Pirates winning both times. The first regular season match of the year started with a 3-2 win for the Pirates over the Jays, and the regular season concluded with a 3-0 sweep by the Pirates on senior night over in Ray. It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, and if you want to play for the district championship, that's exactly what you'll need to do, is to beat the Pirates the 3rd time you play them. You know the Pirates very well and the strengths and the weaknesses of your opponent. What is the message tonight in the locker room before you take the court that you'll have with your team, Coach?
We actually had a pretty good discussion as a team afterwards, talking about strategy, and we know what weapons they have. We know how they use them. We know what they can do. We did actually get to see them also at the Northwest Conference tournament, where we split with them and had them running on game 2 too during pool play. So we know we can play with them. So we're going to switch things up a little bit tonight and move some girls around into some positions and play to everybody's strengths on our team and use our weapons against them.
Needless to say, we're looking forward to the match and the coverage here on Game Day Media between the Ray Jays and the Tioga Lady Pirates. You've been listening to head coach Angie Kincaid of the Ray Jays on our Continental Resources Coaches Comments segment of our pregame show, and we'll be back with more of our Border Plains Equipment pregame show from our NCC Sports Desk after a few words from some of our dedicated Game Day Media sponsors.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Othione Boutique. Shop in person in downtown Tioga or visit their website at shopothione.com.
Nessa Consulting, located in Tioga, North Dakota. Visit nessaconsulting.com.
Frames by Ryan James, located in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Frames by Ryan James.
At Souris Valley Dental Group, we've been using modern treatment techniques and products to help families smile since 1968. Voted as the #1 dentist in Minot, our team of expert dentists combine their unique areas of expertise and their experiences to create treatment plans that help each individual patient meet their goals. Contact our dental office at 701-419-8900 or visit sourisvalleydental.com to schedule an appointment today. You can count on us to keep your family grinning from ear to ear for many years to come.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by Bingaman Construction in Ray, North Dakota, your go-to for all your residential and commercial spray foam and construction needs. Tegan's Interiors, located on Main Street in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook or find them online at tegansinteriors.com. Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, located at 106 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit tiogadrug.com.
D&L Paraffin Incorporated is a local family-owned hot oil company that has been in operation since 1981. We work hard to develop good business relationships with the oilfield companies in the Tioga area. While offering services north of Lake Sakakawea, we focus on integrity, hard work, and safety. For all hot oil services, call dispatch at 701-641-3065 or 701-641-6310. And for hiring information, be sure to follow us on Facebook at DL Paraffin.
And welcome back into Game Day Media as we come back to the NCC Sports Desk and to our Border Plains Equipment pregame show. I have head coach Shaughnessy Meyer of the Tioga Pirates volleyball team to talk with me about their upcoming District 16 semifinal match of the tournament here this afternoon with the Ray Jays. And first of all, Coach Meyer, welcome again to our Continental Resources Coach's Comments.
Thank you. Always good to be a part of it.
Congratulations to the Lady Pirates for your second place finish in the regular season. Your youthful Pirates have set the bar pretty high this season with your play. There seems to be a lot of buzz in the community. In fact, I have spoken to many community members, and a lot of the people saying your Pirates have a pretty good chance of winning the District 16 tournament if you can play your best. And congratulations again, Coach, on your regular season finish.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really great season for the girls, and I've been all around really proud of their accomplishments.
Last night, I understand that your team held a team meal with a watch party, so to speak. What were some of your thoughts as you looked on at that great team building event and were able to share a meal and probably scout your opponent tonight, the Ray Jays, Coach?
Yeah, it was just nice for the girls to be able to all be together, like you said, share a meal, just hang out and get ready for the tournament at hand. I think they enjoyed spending time outside of the court together and just watching the game, just to get ready mentally and prepare to see what we need to do for today's game.
As I look at the stats that you provided, the Hayes sisters have been a major force in the front row this year, with Cheryl having 228 kills and her sister Cheyenne putting down 184 kills during the regular season. Of course, that wouldn't be possible without good passing and great sets by both Cheryl and Kennedy Keever and others on the team. Different players bring different skill sets to the table in volleyball, and as a younger team, your Pirates could make a good run at the District 16 tournament. What do you feel will be important tonight for the Pirates to be able to beat the Ray Jays for a third time this season and advance to the championship match on Monday night, Coach?
Yeah, as you said, every player on the team brings an important skill, and it's going to be very crucial that they show up for this game. Every single player at all times. Every moment is going to count. Every play is going to matter. So our back row just has to be ready to be used, and our front row has to be aggressive, ready to kill the ball when the set is there. So the key word is just ready. Ready.
Well, thanks again, Coach. You've been listening to head coach Shaughnessy Meyer of the Tioga Lady Pirates here on our Continental Resources Coach's Comments. We'll step aside, and when we come back to the NCC Sports Desk after a few words from some of our great Game Day Media sponsors, we'll continue on with our Border Plains Equipment pregame show.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Brandy Larson Insurance of Stanley offers home, auto, business, and farm insurance. For a quote, call 701-628-1414. Your local Farmers Union insurance agent.
Murex Petroleum Corporation, a pioneer for today, creating opportunities for all involved. Extraordinary people, extraordinary assets. MurexPetroleumCorporation.com.
Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, family owned and operated since 1986. Offering septic service, portable restrooms and hand wash, sewer jet and camera services. Located in Stanley, North Dakota, call for a free quote at 701-628-2960.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
Based in Crosby, North Dakota, St. Luke's Medical Center's mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate health care for individuals and families in cooperation with the area medical community. Our vision is to be recognized as a community leader by delivering quality health care through a team of dedicated professionals in a friendly, compassionate, and growing environment. Recently named one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the country means our community can count on us to deliver services they need now and in the future. To schedule an appointment, call 701-965-6349. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
MC Property and Maintenance LLC is a family-owned and operated property management, maintenance, and handyman company based in Stanley, North Dakota. From lawn care to snow removal and everything in between, let us manage every aspect of your rental, property, and maintenance needs. To schedule an appointment, call Max at 701-641-2772. Rising Sports Academy, based in Stanley, North Dakota, offering skill sessions for basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, and softball. Check them out on Facebook at Rising Sports Academy. At Tioga Ace Hardware, our store is a member of the largest retailer-owned hardware cooperative in the industry. We are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. As the helpful hardware folks in your community, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Shop the biggest brands all under one roof at 119 North Main Street in Tioga, or shop online at acehardware.com. At Border Plains Equipment of Stanley, our vision is to be the respected and recognized leader in agricultural equipment and the employer of choice by helping people succeed. Our mission is to serve agricultural customers and communities by partnering to meet their needs through the sales and support of farm equipment and technology. Visit plainsag.com to check local inventory or stop by at 8141 off Highway 2 in Stanley, North Dakota today.
As we come back here to Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota on Game Day Media, my name is Randy Peterson. Our first semifinal match is in the books as the Stanley Blue Jays dropped the heartbreaker to the number 1 seed Kenmare Bowbells Honkers 3-2. The Blue Jays started out with a 25-22 win in set number 1, lost set number 2 convincingly to the Honkers 25-8. Stanley coming back in set number 3 to win 25-23, and then with a 25-21 win in set number 4, the Honkers pushed it to a 5th and deciding set, where the Honkers won 15-10 to advance to Monday night's championship match against the winner of our next semifinal match here on Game Day Media. It is the Ray Jays versus the Tioga Pirates here from Kenmare, North Dakota in the District 16 postseason tournament. The Tioga Lady Pirates have beaten the Ray Jays twice during the regular season. Always hard to beat a team 3 times in any season. And no doubt the Ray Jays will be up for this match against the Tioga Pirates. Pirates winning the opening regular season match that they had against the Ray Jays, 3-2, game played in Tioga. And then in the final regular season match of the year for both teams, or for the Ray Jays, it was the Ray Jays dropping a match 3-0 against the Tioga Pirates at Kurt Hoddenfield Court in Ray. So that brings us to today, as the Ray Jays come from behind to beat the Powers Lake Burke Central Ranchers yesterday in the quarterfinal round to advance to today's semifinal round against the number 2 seed, the Tioga Lady Pirates. The Ray Jays, of course, are ranked number 3. The Ranchers had them on the ropes for a while, but then the Ray Jays come back and won. Actually, it was the Divide County Maroons. I'm looking at the wrong column here. It was the Ray Jays winning 3-1, but Divide County capturing 1 set against the Ray Jays in a scrappy affair, so my apologies for that. Ray Jays with a 3-1 set victory in the quarterfinal round to advance to our semifinal round here this afternoon. Still got about 6 minutes to go until the Northwest Therapy first serve here from Kenmare, North Dakota. With that, we'll send it back to our studio as we take a timeout and help pay for our broadcast here with our great sponsor ads from GameDay Media.
At NCC, Northwest North Dakota is our backyard. The individuals and businesses who rely on NCC's services aren't just our customers. You're our neighbors, our friends, and our families. That's why we're committed to providing the high-quality internet, video, phone, and security systems you need to stay connected with the friendly, local service you deserve. NCC, making connections in Northwest North Dakota.
At Prairie Home Furnishings of Stanley, featuring some of the best brands in the industry, such as Ashley, Lazy Boy, and Shaw Flooring, we have something for every room in your home. From furniture to flooring, outdoor living, mattresses, and decor, we truly have everything your home deserves. Shop our everyday low prices locally in store Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturdays from 9 to 4, or shop online anytime at shopphf.com. For all things home, be sure to also follow us on Facebook.
Voted a top 20 critical access hospital in quality, our Level 5 Trauma Center is ready to handle all your emergency needs with our acute stroke ready certification and full lab and radiology departments. Our physical, occupational, and speech therapy providers are available for all your rehab care, and our family practice clinic provides a variety of care including well child and child immunizations. Psychiatric care is available by telehealth, and mental health is available in person. To schedule an appointment, call us at 701-628-2505 or find us on our website at stanleyhealth.org. Montreal County Medical Center, here to help you throughout a lifetime.
Today's GameDay Media District 16 tournament coverage is brought to you by
NCC, Tioga Medical Center, The Country Store, St. Luke's Medical Center, both the own boutique, Souris Valley Dental Group of Minot, Hougland Insurance Services, Frames by Ryan James, D&L Paraffin, Brad Johnson Insurance, Bravera Bank, Continental Resources, Northwest Therapy Services, Nesson Consulting Service, Roustabout Service and Insulating, DA Land LLC, 701 Cornhole Company, Bingaman Construction, Tioga Ace Hardware, Border Plains Equipment of Stanley, The Bank of Tioga, Tioga Parts Supply, Surge Aesthetics, The Porch, Tegan's Interiors, Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, Prairie Home Furnishings, Farmers Union Insurance, Larson Vossen Agency, Game 1, Tech Next Solutions, Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa, Montreal County Health Center, Patriot Oilfield Service Incorporated, Brandy Larson Insurance Agency, Prairie Ford of Stanley, Thrivent, Kyle Hansen, Financial Advisor, Murex Petroleum Corporation, TNT Measurements Incorporated, MC Property and Maintenance LLC, Rising Sports Academy, Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, Flag Family Media.
today's
As we come back here to Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota, it's time for game number 2 of our semifinal round this afternoon. My name is Randy Peterson, alongside my production crew, Caden Keller, running our board ops this afternoon for the second semifinal game as Eli Clark moves over to our eyes on the camera. And it's time now for our Haugland Insurance Services starting lineups. And for the visitors on the scoreboard, they'll start with Avery Larson, Elena Nelson, Brindley and Maylee Kincaid, Abby Olson, Irka Kettleson, and Caden Sargent to take the floor for second-year head coach Angie Kincaid, assisted by Kelly Heyer and Courtney Olson. Ray Jays wearing their blue uniforms with red and white trim. And the home team on the scoreboard, it is the Ray Jays that are being introduced first by Al Sherbinski, our namesake of the floor that is named after him. And Avery Larson, Elena Nelson, Brindley Kincaid, Maylee Kincaid, Abby Olson, Erica Kettleson, and Caden Sargent for second-year head coach Angie Kincaid. And as we continue on with the Haugland Insurance Services located up in Crosby, North Dakota, Haugland Insurance Services are working tirelessly to protect what you have grown and built. Contact Haugland Insurance Services in Crosby at 701-965-4066 for all your insurance needs. And as we continue on with Haugland Insurance Services starting lineup, Thea Johnson, McKenna Landsberg, Peyton Ron, Cheryl Hayes, Cambry Johnson, Cheyenne Hayes, and Brooke Vaughel gets the nod tonight for seventh-year head coach Shaughnessy Meyer, assisted by Morgan Richards and Christy Connor. The Pirates, with a total of 5 seniors on this year's team, along with a senior statistician, Emily Dickinson, and they get a first-round bye as the Pirates are being introduced here by Al Sherbinski, and both teams are ready to take the floor as it'll be chair umpire Stuart Dolan in the chair tonight, and his sidekick will be Samantha Vedasa on the floor this evening, as we're about ready to have our Northwest Therapy Services start of set number 1 on this opening set of this best-of-5 match. Again, you're listening to GameDay Media coverage of the District 16 postseason tournament from Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota. Both teams making sure they're in the right spots as our floor umpire Samantha Vedasa getting everybody in their right spot. We're about ready to go here, and it'll be the Ray Jays with the opening serve as they won the toss, and it'll be Maddox Folk with our Northwest Therapy Services opening serve here on set number 1. We're underway. Here's a set to Cheyenne Hayes, dug out there as the Pirates dig that hit out by Maylee Kincaid, now bumped across. Now here's a setup to Caden Sargent. She brings it across. Here's a setup to Thea Johnson, push to the back row. Abby Olson there for the Ray Jays as Knox brings it across for the Ray Jays. Up front here is Cheyenne Hayes, and Cheyenne Hayes with the opening point for the Lady Pirates. They take a 1-0 lead as Cambry Johnson checks in for Thea Johnson. It'll be Brooke Vaughel going back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. She wears an odd colored jersey compared to the rest of them, as she is the libero for the Pirates, as Maya Knox blocked at the net by Cambry Johnson. That's another block point for Tioga. 2-0 as the Pirates out strong with a 2-point lead. First 2 points of the match going to the Pirates as Brooke Vaughel puts it in play, sent to the front row by the Jays as the Jays can't bring it down. And there's another big point by Cambry Johnson as Johnson from the middle row, slams it home for Tioga. 3-0. As Brooke Vackel again at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, sends it to the front row. Sargent there, tapping it across, set up to the front row as Landsberg pushes it to the corner, dug out by Olsen. Probably could have let it go, but the ball brought across by Maylee Kincaid. Now here's a set tapped over by the Pirates' Cheyenne Hayes, but she goes over the line. And so that first point goes to the Ray Jays, their first of the afternoon, as Avery Larson checks in for Maya Knox for the Ray Jays. And she puts the ball in play. The knuckleball comes across as Cambry Johnson pushes it over and goes along the net. And nobody home for the Ray Jays. The Jays a little flat-footed, cost them another point as Kennedy Keever, captain for the Tioga Lady Pirates, checks in to go to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. The senior puts it in play for the Pirates. Here's a set by Brindley over to sister Maylee, and the ball up in the rafters comes down, still on the Tioga side as Hayes brings it across. That's Cheyenne. Now Sargent with the hit. A diving Pirates, Cheryl Hayes keeps it alive. Up front, here's Maylee Kincaid. This time Maylee Kincaid drives it home for Ray. Great hustle by the Pirates, keeping it alive to that point. But when they set it up and tee it up for Maylee, she makes the best of it. Here's a push by Cambry Johnson as Tioga Pirates all over the floor. And there's Kennedy Keever diving for it, pushed to the corner by Cheryl Hayes. Up front, here is Maylee Kincaid with a swing and a miss. 5-2, the Pirates out on top by 3 as Cheyenne Hayes goes to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. The senior for Tioga dribbles the ball 3-4 times, puts the ball in play with a high serve, dug out there by Maylee. Now up front, here's Kettleson, blocked at the net by the Pirates. And Pirates unable to keep it alive as the Pirates are called with the lift. 5-3. As Maylee Kincaid serves for the Jays. Tipped across by Cheryl Hayes for the Pirates. Up front, here's another tip by the Ray Jays. Up front, here's Cambry Johnson pushing it to the outside. Now dug out there by the Jays. Up front, here's Kettleson, blocked at the net, kept alive by Cambry Johnson. Pushed back to the corner, or to the middle, I'm sorry. And Cheryl Hayes with a well-placed tip. That's another point for Tioga. They're up by 3. They've doubled up the Ray Jays at 6-3. Thea Johnson back in to play front row for Tioga, as Mercedes Travis goes back to the server's row. Here's a tip. Cheryl Hayes digs it out, and that ball is out as they call it out of bounds on the line, off the line. So it's 6-4. That point given to the Ray Jays as Brindley Kincaid goes with the serve. Waiting for our officials here. There's a Tioga Ace Hardware ace by Brindley Kincaid. Score from West Hope. West Hope all over Grant County Flasher, 46-0 in 9-man Class B football. Here is Brooke Vackel keeping it alive as Thea Johnson brings it across. It's 6-5. The Pirates on top here as there's a block by Thea Johnson. Now 7-5 on the long arm Thea Johnson with the block party in the front row. Where's number 1 for the Pirates as Cheryl Hayes goes back to the service line for Tioga. Ball put into play, short serve. And it's going to be pushed across by Maya Knox and mishit there by Peyton Ron. And that point goes to the Ray Jays. 7-6 as Kettleson goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Here's Cheryl Hayes. There we go with Thea Johnson again with the big hit from the middle. Playing a nice game so far here. Thea Johnson with another point for Tioga. 8-6. Sargent with the big swing, and it's too deep. It's another point for Tioga. Tioga back up by 3 points as Peyton Ron back at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row with a 3-point lead. Abby Olson with the serve receive. Knox brings it across, sent to the front and punched across by Cheryl Hayes. On the outside, here is Maddox Falk off the arms of Cheryl Hayes. And that's another point for the Ray Jays. 9-7 as Maylee Kincaid checks in for the Ray Jays. Ava Long. As Brooke Vockel sends it into the bleachers on the serve receive. 9-8. Maddox Falk serving for the Jays, down by 1. Here's Cheyenne bringing it across with the push. On the outside, Maylee Kincaid tipped at the net off the arms of Peyton Ron, and last touch by the Pirates, and we're all tied up at 9 apiece. There's a set, or not a set, as a quick dip by Cheryl. Now up front, here's McKenna Landsberg setting up Thea Johnson. She tips it, diving Maylee Kincaid with it. There's another block point by Thea Johnson with the long arms of Thea Johnson. She puts it down for another point, and a Tioga lead by 1 at 10-9. Brooke Vockel now back at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, puts the ball in play. Maylee Kincaid goes cross court with it to Peyton Ron. Here's a set to the outside. Cheyenne Hayes blocked there by Baya Knox. And that's a point for the Ray Jays, 10-10. Couldn't get it through the block as Avery Larson checks in for the Ray Jays. We're knotted at 10. Set up to Cheyenne, and Cheyenne goes too deep with it, and the Ray Jays have taken the lead by 1 at 11-10. Here's Cheyenne with it with the serve receive on the outside. Cambry Johnson pushes it to the corner. Abby Olson runs it down as Sargent brings it across for the Jays. Now here's another set up to Cheyenne Hayes as she slams it into the net. Another point for the Ray Jays. It's 12-10. The Jays up by 2. Here's a set up to Cheyenne. Goes back row, and it's too deep again. And right now the Pirates out of sync, and we have a timeout on the floor. It's 13-10. We'll take a timeout as well. Sponsored by St. Luke's Medical Center. We'll come back after this 30-second timeout.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
MC Property and Maintenance LLC is a family-owned and operated property management, maintenance, and handyman company based in Stanley, North Dakota. From lawn care to snow removal and everything in between, let us manage every aspect of your rental, property, and maintenance needs. To schedule an appointment, call Max at 701-641-2772. Rising Sports Academy, based in Stanley, North Dakota, offering skill sessions for basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, and softball. Check them out on Facebook at Rising Sports Academy.
As we come back, 13-10. Out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout, Avery Larson back at server's row again as she serves the ball out of bounds. Easy point for the Pirates. 13-11 now as Kennedy Kiever checks in for McKenna Landsberg and goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Short serve by Kiever, pushed across there. Now back row, they go to Brooke Bockel. And now here is a back set to Cheryl, goes to the middle of the defense for the Ray Jays. Up front, here's Maylee Kincaid, and Kincaid hits the line back in the corner as the Pirates let it go. 14-11. It'll be Elena Nelson going back to the server's row. Clips the net, comes over as the Pirates kind of out of whack here right now as Kettleson tips it across. Has set up to Cheyenne Hayes, and Cheyenne goes cross court with the kill. That's a point for the Lady Pirates. Gets the Pirates within 2. 14-12 as Cheyenne Hayes goes to the service line, gets the nod from chair umpire Stuart Dolan to put the ball in play, and she does. Up front here is Cheryl Hayes getting the friendly net, climbs the net and over, lands on the Ray J side here at Al Shabinsky Court as Cheyenne Hayes gets the Pirates within 1. She goes back again to the service line and puts the ball in play. The ball goes backwards, run down there by Falk as Brindley Kincaid bumps it across. Here's a chance for Tioga from the middle. Cambry Johnson slowed down at the net by Kettleson. And now it's Maylee Kincaid going with the big swing, and that one's too deep. And we're all tied up at 14-14. Cheyenne again with the serve from server's row. And the Ray Jays kind of mishandled that one. The Pirates with the point. 15-14 as Cheyenne Hayes continues to serve for the Lady Pirates. Up by 1 now as the ball is in play. Here's a tip over by Brindley Kincaid. A set to the middle. Cambry Johnson blocked at the net by Erica Kettleson on the outside. It's Peyton Ron unable to bring it across. And that point goes to the Ray Jays. There's a serve, nice serve by Maylee Kincaid. And a lead of 1 for the Jays at 16-15. Back and forth here between these two teams as Peyton Ron goes to the concession area to run down the volleyball. As the serve by Maylee Kincaid is wide and to the right. 16-16, and Mercedes Travis checks in for Cambry Johnson. She goes back to server's row. Where's number 19? It's the go-ahead to serve and serves it into the net. 17-16, the Ray Jays with a 1-point lead. As Brindley Kincaid now goes back to serve. There's the whistle and ready to play. Set up to the front row, tipped across by Cheryl Hayes. Now here's Thea Johnson bumping it, a set back up to Thea. Thea pushes it to the corner, nobody home for the Jays. And we're all tied up at 17-17. Thea with a well-placed pass, tip, point for the Pirates. Cheryl Hayes serving for Tioga. The sophomore puts it in play, goes into the bleachers off the arms of the Ray Jays, and it's a 1-point lead for Tioga. 18-17. Up front, here's Thea. Off of 2 Ray Jays. With a big swing by Thea Johnson. It's a 2-point lead for the Lady Pirates off of Thea Johnson's hit. Thea, a sophomore, lanky sophomore for the Lady Pirates. Cross-court serve by Cheryl Hayes. Elena Nelson runs down the third hit. Here's a set to Thea again. Off the tip, that's another point. 20-17, and with that we have a St. Luke's Medical Center timeout on the floor. Your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard, and it's the Pirates 20, the Ray Jays 17. Will step aside, come back after this 30-second timeout.
Based in Crosby, North Dakota, St. Luke's Medical Center's mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate health care for individuals and families in cooperation with the area medical community. Our vision is to be recognized as a community leader by delivering quality health care through a team of dedicated professionals in a friendly, compassionate, and growing environment. Recently named one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the country means our community can count on us to deliver services they need now and in the future. To schedule an appointment, call 701-965-6349.
Okay, you're coming back here to Al Sherbinski Court, 20-17, as we come out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout. Cheryl Hayes with the serve, leading by 3, the Pirates are. There's a ball dug out front to Kettleson, blocked at the net by Thea Johnson. And here is Cheyenne Hayes with the dig off the arms of Maya Knox, pushed across by Landsverk. And now up front, here's Thea Johnson trying to put it down, but Brindley Kincaid right there for the Jays. Here's Cheryl Hayes going to set up Thea again. She pushes it across and kind of playing push ball here rather than kill ball. And here's another push. And here's a set up to Peyton Ron. Peyton Ron goes cross court with the kill. It's a Tioga Ace Hardware kill. It's 21-17. Pirates up by 4. Peyton Ron plays a great left side for the Tioga Pirates. Got that one to fall on the kill attempt. As the ball dug out here, and they're going to set up Kettleson. As Landsverk goes to her knees, gets the ball up in the air, pushed across by Cheryl. Now Kettleson gets it back to Folk. There's Ron for the Pirates digging it out as they back set McKenna Landsverk, and Landsverk hits it into the net. That wasn't even close. Kind of mistimed her jump a little bit, and it's a 3-point lead still for Tioga as Erica Kettleson checks in for the Ray Jays. There is the serve receive. Thea Johnson pushes it to the corner. Now up front, here's Maya Knox trying to put it down as the Ray Jays the Tioga Pirates keep it alive. Here is the ball pushed back to the corner. Brooke Vockel with it. Here's a push by Cheryl, try to catch the Jays off guard as Falk brings it across. Here's a set by McKenna, now almost caught and thrown by Thea Johnson. Now the ball goes out of bounds, last played by the Ray Jays, and it's 22-18. Pirates 3 points away from capturing set number 1 as the hard-serving Peyton Ron goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Ball's in play, good serve by Ron. As Sargent tries to bring it across and gets the friendly roll here at Al Sherbinski Court. 22-19. And now Maddox Falk will go back to servers row. Ball's in play, dug out there by Brooke Vile, set up Bockel, and here is the Pirates' Abby Olson keeping it alive on a big hit as Landsverk just tips it across, but the Ray Jays can't catch up with it. It's 23-19. Here come the Tioga Pirates again as Brooke Vockel goes back to servers row. Ball's in play. Abby Olson with the dig. Going backwards, and it comes down after hitting the rafters, and it's going to be set point for the Pirates. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. It's 24-18. We'll take a St. Luke's Medical Center timeout. You're listening to semifinal District 16 postseason tournament coverage here on GameDay Media. As we come back, it'll be set point for the Pirates as they'll have the serve. Brooke Vackel comes out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout with a mission in mind to get one more point for the Tioga Pirates to take set number one. Backs her up against the wall for the Jays as Vackel's serve is in. Here's a set to the outside as Kincaid with the roll. Now here's an opportunity from the middle, pushed across by Cambry Johnson. Up front, here's Caden Sargent. Ball in the rafters and unable to keep it alive. The Ray Jays come up with the point. 24-20. It'll be Avery Larson, the sophomore, going back to the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row, trying to keep the Jays alive as the Pirates let the ball hit the floor again. 24-21. Communication. Here's Cheryl. Back set up to Cheyenne. Cheyenne puts it home for the winning kill here in set number one as the Pirates take set number one by a score of 25-21 to take a 1-0 lead here in this semifinal match. From District 16 postseason tournament play, you're listening to Game Day Media at the District 16 postseason tournament. We'll be back after this 2-minute Bank of Tioga intermission.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Roustabout Service and Insulating, servicing the oil and gas industry since 1963. The Country Store, located at 123 Main Street in Powers Lake, North Dakota. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. Napa Tioga Park Supply, located at 105 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit napaonline.com. TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lack provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351. Born and raised amidst the small-town love of Northwest North Dakota, we at Northwest Communications Cooperative understand the joy of being part of a great community. That's why we choose to pour back into the people who pour into us. At NCC, we offer internet, telephone, video, and security services that are industry standard, top of the line. Based in Ray, North Dakota, we consider Northwest North Dakota our neighborhood. Let us know how we can serve you. Local, fast, reliable. Making connections, locally committed.
D&L Paraffin Incorporated is a local family-owned hot oil company that has been in operation since 1981. We work hard to develop good business relationships with the oilfield companies in the Tioga area. While offering services north of Lake Sakakawea, we focus on integrity, hard work, and safety. For all hot oil services, call dispatch at 701-641-3065 or 701-641-6310. And for hiring information, be sure to follow us on Facebook at DL Paraffin.
As we come back out of that Bank of Tioga intermission, the Tioga Pirates claiming set number one, 25-21, to take a 1-0 lead here in this second semifinal match of the day. It was the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers in 5 sets, defeating the Stanley Blue Jays 3-2. This gives us a chance to thank Patriot Oilfield Service in Tioga, North Dakota. Nate Ron and his team at Patriot Oilfield Service would like to thank and wish the Pirates all the best this season. That's Patriot Oilfield Service, located in Tioga, North Dakota. As Nate's daughter, Peyton Ron, goes with the serve. First serve is in. Almost put down by Thea Johnson, but the Ray Jays catch up with it. There's another block by Thea Johnson. And Thea puts a point on the board for the Pirates. Here's Peyton Ron. Blocked to the net by Thea Johnson again. There's the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Caden Sargent. It's 2-0. Peyton Ron with the serve again. And there's a miss hit by the Ray Jays, and it's 3-0. As the Jays a little bit out of kilter right now. Down 3-0 as Peyton Ron continues to serve. Big serve by Ron as Brinley Kincaid gets it over to her sister Maylee, bumps it across on the outside. Here's Cheyenne Hayes going along the side. Dug out by Abby Olson as Knox brings it across. It's too deep, and it's another point for the Ray Jays. 4-0. As Ron continues to serve for the Pirates. She's got the first 4 points for Tioga from the service line. And here is a ball played by Ray. Up front here is Cheyenne Hayes, and Cheyenne tries to bring it home. Brought across by Maylee Kincaid. Cheyenne's going to get another crack at it. She doesn't miss that one. And it's 5-0 in favor of the Tioga Lady Pirates. Maylee Kincaid holding her wrist after digging out the first one, but she couldn't catch up with the second one. It's 5-0 in favor of Tioga. Ron with the serve again, puts it in play. It's Caden Sargent tipped at the net and it's slowed down. Up front again, here's Cheyenne Hayes, and Cheyenne across, and so Sargent just barely gets it back into the field of play. And there is a tip off the arms of Maya Knox, off the arms of Cheyenne Hayes, and they're using that left side for the Pirates. That's their strength right now, as Cheyenne Hayes controlling the net for the Pirates. 6-0. So Peyton goes with the serve again and puts it in play. Probably a little bit too hard, but there the Pirates caught sleeping in the back row. Didn't come up to cover that donut hole, as the Jays found the hole on defense to capture their first point of the set, number 2. 6-1. And not sure what happened there with Brooke Wackel trying to send it up to the front row, but kind of hard to do that. And up front, here's Thea Johnson pushing it to the corner, dug out by Falk. And it's brought across by Avery Larson. Here's a set by Cheryl. Back set to Landsberg. She goes cross court with a kill attempt. Now here pushed across. And Tioga got called for 2 hits, giving up points left and right. A little break in the action while they tie their shoe. Brevera Bank, proud supporter of the Stanley community and Stanley Blue Jays, helping you, our customer, forge new paths to achieve your financial goals. That is Brevera Bank in Stanley, North Dakota. It's Maylee Knox. Maylee Kincaid goes with the kill and hits that corner, and it's 6-4. So run of points here. Pirates got the first 6 of the match. The Ray Jays have got the last 4. Now set to the outside. Here's Cheryl setting up Cheyenne, and Cheyenne bringing it home with a Tioga Ace Hardware kill. And if you don't keep using that strength when you got her in the front row, I'm not the coach, but that's what I'd do. I'm sure they've talked about that quite a bit. Here is it again to Cheyenne, to Cheryl. Blocked at the net that time, but they're going to feed to McKenna Landsberg as she goes wide on the right side. 7-5. Here's a set to the middle. Cheyenne blocked at the net by Cambry Johnson. Big block point by the freshman from Tioga. Wow, what a block by Cambry Johnson. Extends the lead to 3 for the Pirates. 8-5. Print here, Caden Sargent bumped across by Cambry Johnson, caught up with it. Now Pirates caught a little flat-footed as the point goes to Ray. It'll be Elena Nelson coming in to serve for the Ray Jays. This segment brought to you by Technic Solutions, offering measurement, sales, service, and support. As the ball is tipped out of bounds, last touch by the Pirates, it's 8-7. Technic Solution offering measurement, sales, service, support for oil and water measurement equipment in the Bakken. Call Jason at 701-641-0647 or get a hold of him at his email address, jason@technicsolutions.com. And the Tioga Pirates are called in the net. And so that is a point again for the Ray Jays, and we're all tied up at 8 apiece. Pirates jumped out to a 6-0 lead, have let that lead slip away, and we're all tied up at 8 apiece here in set number 2 after the Pirates claim set 1, 25-21. And there is a service error by the Ray Jays, a point for Tioga. Cheyenne Hayes serving for the Lady Pirates. Ball is going to go in almost to the stands, but Maylee Kincaid tried to bring it back into play. She did, but on the third hit, the Ray Jays couldn't bring it over. It's a 2-point lead again for Tioga at 10-8. Now here is Erica Kettleson this time, pounding it home on a Tioga Ace hardware kill. 10-9, the Pirates lead by 1 as Maylee Kincaid goes back to serve for the Jays. Serve is in. She worked on her serve quite a bit, according to her mom, as Cheryl Hayes tries to put it down with the kill attempt, and that's too deep. And it's another point for Ray, and we're all tied up again, 10-10. There's a service error by Maylee Kincaid as the ball goes out of bounds on the serve. 11-10. As Thea Johnson checks back into the front row for the Lady Pirates. And Savannah DeMoe serving for the Pirates. But the Ray Jays put it down to tie up the match, 11-11. It'll be Brindley Kincaid from the server's row. Serving for the Jays. Ball's in play. Here's a set up to Cheryl Hayes. She bumps it across. And there is another kill by Maddox Falk. And Falk gives the Jays a 1-point lead at 12-11. Thea Johnson bumps it across from the middle. Brindley sends it to the court of play, brought over, now up to Tioga. Cheryl pushes it back row. Nelson runs it down for the Jays. And here's Cheryl Hayes bringing it across for Tioga. Kettleson bumps it across. Kiever there for Tioga. Up front, here's Thea going to the corner. Brought back into play by the Jays. Kind of haphazard play here. Nobody really hitting the ball real hard, but this time Cheryl Hayes decides to take it in her own hands and ties the match or the setup at 12 apiece as Kiever checks out of the match, as Landsberg checks in for head coach Shaughnessy Meyer. Cheryl Hayes serving for the Lady Pirates. Short serve dug out there by Maylee Kincaid. Here's Cheryl with the set up to Thea Johnson, pushed to the corner, dug out by Knox. And there is a swing and a hit too deep by Maddox Falk. And that point gives the Pirates a 1-point lead at 13-12. Brought across by the Jays. Up front, here's Thea Johnson with the big swing. And the block by Kettleson ties the setup at 13-13. Kettleson goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. all knotted up at 13 between the Jays and the Lady Pirates. Here's Thea Johnson pushing it. Kettleson runs it down, brought back into play. Sargent goes with it, kept alive by the Pirates. Now here is Falk with it again, and Falk's kill attempt is too wide and deep. It's another point for Tioga. 14-13. As again the ball goes under the bleachers near the concession stand area. Peyton Ron goes to the service line for Tioga. Puts it in play. Good serve by Ron. Sargent brings it across and nobody home. Nobody comes up to play defense, and we're all tied up at 14-14. Caught flat-footed. Got to move. As Maddox Falk serves it into the net. 15-14. Brooke Vackel again goes to server's row. Short serve dug out there by Abby Olson. Now Melee Kincaid brings it across up front. Here's Cheyenne. Cheyenne goes to the middle of the defense and tacks on one more for the Lady Pirates. 16-14. Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa located in Tioga on Main Street. Your full service salon and spa. Jessica Nygaard and her team at Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa. You can find them on Facebook at Hidden Beauty. Last point to the Ray Jays. As the Tioga Pirates give the serve up to Ray. Avery Larson with the serve. Here's Cheryl Hayes. Up front to Landsverk, kept alive by Cambry Johnson. Cheryl brings it across on the third hit. Melee Kincaid tries to drive it home, and there is the Ray Jays with the ball now back on the Tioga side as Cheyenne Hayes goes to the corner. It's up in the rafters, coming down, and the Jays can't catch up with it. It's a point for the Pirates. 17-15. As McKenna Landsverk again serving for Tioga. Serves it into the net. 17-16 as Kiever checks in for Landsverk. And it'll be Elena Nelson checking in for head coach Angie Kincaid, trailing by one. Ray Jays down by one, 17-16. Here is Cheyenne bringing it across from the back row. Up front, here's Erica Kettleson, and nobody home as Brooke Vackel and Kennedy Kiever looking at each other as the ball hits the floor. 17-17. Up front, here's Cheryl, and Cheryl drives it home for Tioga. Great set. 18-17. Cheyenne Hayes with it. The serve. They're playing in the back row are the Jays. It's going to be too deep. And it's going to be another point for Tioga. 19-17. This last time Cheyenne was at the server's row in set number one. She strung together quite a few points, trying to do the same here. Pirates up by two. Swatted across by Erica Kettleson. Now here's a setup to Cambry Johnson, and Johnson spikes it into the net. 19-18. Pirates looking for a side out as the Ray Jays go back to the service line. And it'll be Ava Long, a freshman, coming in to serve for head coach Angie Kincaid. And she serves it into the net. 20-18. As Savannah DeMoe checking in for Cambry Johnson. DeMoe goes back to the service line. She wears number 6. DeMoe, a sophomore, puts the ball in play. Ball up high as Kettleson brings it across. There's Cheryl Hayes. Cheyenne with it. Cheryl brings it down. And here is another chance for the Pirates, but the Ray Jays keep digging them out as Peyton Ron goes out of bounds with the hit. 20-19. And it's Brindley Kincaid serving for the Ray Jays. It'll be Cheyenne Hayes pushing it across. Kettleson. It's Thea Johnson. Kind of gets in the way of it, doesn't touch it, but influenced the point, and it's a point for Tioga. 21-19. Sherrill with the serve for Tioga. And it's sent over to Elena Nelson. She sends it to the front row, brought across by Brindley Kincaid. Up front here is Thea Johnson. And tipped at the net by Kettleson. And Johnson got her hands on it but couldn't come down with it. And the point lands in favor of Ray as Kettleson goes back to the service line for the Ray Jays, down by 1. Peyton Ron brings it across for the Pirates. Now up front, here's Maddox Falk with a hit from the left corner. It's too deep. 22-20. Peyton Ron will go back to the server's line. Sponsored by Souris Valley Dental Group. Needing 3 points to take set number 2. They're up 22-20. Ron's serve is in. Good serve by Peyton. And fought for at the net. Thea Johnson again there with her blocking ability, and it's another timeout on the floor. The Pirates needing 2 to take set number 2. They're up 23-20 on your Tioga Medical Center scoreboard. We'll step away, come back after this 30-second timeout.
Located in Crosby, North Dakota, Brad Johnson Insurance has been helping clients find insurance coverage since 1986. Our team is passionate about serving the community in which we live and pride ourselves on getting to know our clients to best serve their needs. Our staff is active in the public and strives to better our community through participation, involvement, and by supporting area events and youth programs. For a quote, visit bradjohnsoninsurance.com or call 701-965-4200 today.
And as we come back to Al Sherbinsky Court in Kenmare, North Dakota, the Pirates out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout hold a 3-point advantage, 23-20. And Peyton Ron still at server's row as a number of fans starting to leave the gymnasium here, especially for the Stanley Blue Jays as they watch first few points. As Ron sends it in play. Back set to Maya Knox, blocked at the net, tipped at the net, but Pirates can't catch up with it as Maya gets through the block, and it'll send Maddox Falk back to server's row. 23-21, Falk with the serve. And here is Cheyenne Hayes off the arms of Brindley Kincaid, and it is set point for the Lady Pirates. It'll be Brooke Vaughel back at the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. Brooke puts the ball in play, short serve. It brought back into play as the Ray Jays get the point. Pirates thought they had the point, but Maylee Kincaid kept it alive. And now it'll be Avery Larson going back to serve for the Jays. Peyton Ron sends it to the front row. Here is Cheyenne Hayes trying to drive it home. Cambry Johnson, here's another opportunity for Cambry. And Cambry with a big swing, blocked at the net by Cambry. And the point goes with the lift against the Ray Jays. The point for Tioga, 25-22. The Pirates claim set number 2, 25-22 to take a commanding 2-0 lead here in this semifinal match this evening. We'll step aside, come back with our 2-minute Bank of Tioga intermission in 2 minutes.
In a world where every dollar counts, we believe in empowering you to do more with your money. At the Bank of Tioga, we help ignite prosperity for you and the communities we serve. Whether you're a family looking for personal financial solutions, a business seeking growth, or an agricultural entrepreneur with big dreams, we have the products and services to help you achieve your goals. Experience the power of partnership and visit your nearest location or explore our online services today. We ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga, member FDIC.
D&L Paraffin Incorporated is a local family-owned hot oil company that has been in operation since 1981. We work hard to develop good business relationships with the oilfield companies in the Tioga area. While offering services north of Lake Sakakawea, we focus on integrity, hard work, and safety. For all hot oil services, call dispatch at 701-641-3065 or 701-641-6310. And for hiring information, be sure to follow us on Facebook at DL Paraffin.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by Bingaman Construction in Ray, North Dakota, your go-to for all your residential and commercial spray foam and construction needs. Tegan's Interiors, located on Main Street in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook or find them online at tegansinteriors.com. Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, located at 106 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit tiogadrug.com.
Since 1961, Tioga Medical Center has been providing quality health care to Northwest North Dakota patients. With a newly built clinic in Tioga, where primary care providers along with visiting specialists are caring for patients every day. Primary care clinics in Ray and Powers Lake also. Call for an appointment today at 701-664-3368. Tioga Medical Center. Great staff making a difference in the lives of patients every day.
Coming back to Al Sherbinski Court in Kenmare, North Dakota, my name's Randy Peterson alongside my production crew this evening. It is Caden Keller and Eli Clark running the board ops and camera tonight as the Pirates on our Bank of Tioga game recap. Pirates taking set number 1, 25-21, taking set number 2, 25-22 as the Ray Jays start our Northwest Therapy Services start of set number 3. It's Falk with the serve as it'll be Cheyenne Hayes pushing it across. Up front, here's Maya Knox blocked at the net, but the ball lands on the Tioga side, and the first point of the set goes to the Ray Jays. Keever runs down the second hit as Cheyenne Hayes bumps it across. As Sargent and Maylee Kincaid almost got tied up. Cheryl Hayes brings it back into the court of play. Tipped at the net. And there's a point for Tioga, and we're all tied up at 1 apiece. Farmers Union Insurance, the Larson Boston agency located in Crosby, North Dakota. They sell crop, farm, and ranch, home, auto, commercial, and health insurance. Call Chell or Robbie at 701-965-6335 today. That is the Farmers Union Insurance Larson Boston agency located up in Crosby. Tioga with another point. On the outside, Maylee Kincaid brings it across with kind of a kittywampus hit, but does a great job at it. And now Maylee tries to drive it home, but there's Cheyenne Hayes with the dig. Now it's going to be Brooke Vaughel bringing it across as Ron and Vaughel almost run each other over. And there is, right along the net, the Ray Jays finding the hole on defense. It's 2-2. Flag Family Media Group, KTGO, picking up our broadcast of this District 16 tournament. All their listeners on 1090 AM and 92.7, we welcome you. My name's Randy Peters. Glad you've joined us. And there's a kill by Maylee Kincaid for another point for the Jays. And now the Jays take a 1-point lead, 3-2. Larson with the serve. Pirates trip it over themselves as Cheyenne Hayes brings it back. And the Ray Jays can't catch up with it. An easy point for Tioga. 3-3 as Peyton Ron goes back to server's row. Peyton Ron, the senior from Tioga, played a lot of volleyball over her high school career. Now enjoying her senior year. And here is Cheyenne Hayes, tipped at the net. It's a point for Tioga. Right now, the Jays seem a little flat-footed. So Pirates recapture the lead by 1. They're up 4-3. Ron doing a great job of serving here tonight. Ball at the net, and it's off the net, but on the third hit, they can't get it over. It's another point for Tioga. 5-3 now for Peyton Ron, as she continues serving for the Lady Pirates from the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. There's another good serve. She's feeling it tonight from server's row, that's for sure. Landsberg sends it to the middle as Thea Johnson will bump it across. Here's a set up to Caden Sargent, blocked at the net again by Cheyenne Hayes and Thea Johnson for another block party for Tioga. It's 6-3. As Peyton Ron again at server's row. Low serve to the net. Ball's in play. Here's a set on the outside to Cheyenne. And there's a miss hit by Avery Larson on the third hit, and it's 7-3. Peyton Ron continues to serve for the Pirates. Again, a good serve by Peyton. Blocked at the net. Brindley Kincaid goes to her knees, or Maley does, to bring it, keep it alive. There's another good job by Peyton Ron as Cheyenne Hayes drives it home for another Tioga point. It's 8-3, and we have a timeout on the floor as head coach Angie Kincaid needs to regroup. We'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to District 16 semifinal night here on Game Day Media.
At Souris Valley Dental Group, we've been using modern treatment techniques and products to help families smile since 1968. Voted as the #1 dentist in Minot, our team of expert dentists combine their unique areas of expertise and their experiences to create treatment plans that help each individual patient meet their goals. Contact our dental office at 701-419-8900 or visit sourisvalleydental.com to schedule an appointment today. You can count on us to keep your family grinning from ear to ear for many years to come.
As we come out of that St. Luke's Medical Center timeout, the Pirates stringing together some points. They now lead 8-3 here in set number 3. The Ray Jays with a 2-0 deficit to the Tioga Pirates. Backs are up against the wall. Let's see what they can do out of this St. Luke's Medical Center timeout. Try to break the momentum of the Lady Pirates as Peyton Ron again at the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. Ron with another good serve for Tioga. Smaley blocked at the net. Thea Johnson blocks it as McKenna Landsberg. Here is a ball teed up for Cheyenne Hayes, and it's another point for Tioga. Wow. Cheyenne putting it down as this time Peyton Ron serves the ball out of bounds, but boy, she racked up a lot of points from server's row and a little frustrated with herself, but it'll send the serve over to the Ray Jays. And it's going to be Cheyenne going back to the corner. It's too deep, and that point made by the Ray Jays. It's 9-5 right now. 9-5. 9-5 as the Cheyenne, whoa. Almost off the face of Maylee Kincaid. The big swing and hit. 10-5 as Brooke Vackel goes back to server's row. Puts it in play. Avery Larson digs it out. Erica Kettleson up in the rafters. Where's the ball going to come down at? And as the Pirates running into each other, unable to keep the ball alive. Kind of gets tricky up there in the rafters. As the Ray Jays with the serve comes off the light fixture. Now comes down as Cambry Johnson pushes it across. Now it'll be Brinley Kincaid bumping it across, and a set up to Cambry, and Cambry at the net, slowed down by Kettleson. Kettleson gets it back, pushes it to the back row. Here's a set by Sherrill on the outside. Cheyenne blocked with the elbow, keeps it alive as Cambry Johnson keeps it playing for Tioga. Wow, what a series. Here's Brooke Vackel back over to Peyton Ron, and Cheryl Hayes will bump it across from the back row. There is a tip by Cambry Johnson. Cambry Johnson's 5'11" frame making a difference here tonight for the Pirates, the freshman. Doing a great job from the middle blocker. Kennedy Keever comes in to serve for the Tioga Pirates with a 5-point lead. This time Erica Kettleson got it teed up for her and drove it home. 11-7. As the Ray Jays' Brinley Kincaid goes to the server's row. Cheryl pushes it to the corner, run down by Maya Knox. As Falk does the same. Bumped across. There's a tip by Cambry Johnson. And you can be lucky. And that time she was. The Porch over in Ray, North Dakota. Locally owned coffee shop. Serving a variety of drinks with a flavor for everybody. That's the Porch in Ray, North Dakota, as Cheyenne Hayes serves it with a 5-point lead. And there is 4 hits for the Ray Jays. It's 13-7. As Cheyenne continues to serve for Tioga. On the Pirates side, Keever with it. Passes it to Cheyenne, who brings it across from the back roll. Maya Knox sends it across, but it's too deep. And it's 14-7. The Pirates have doubled up the Ray Jays here in set number 3. Short serve as Maya Knox unable to come up with it. And nobody there on the second hit for the Ray Jays. Again, a short serve. Knox retrieves it. Knox pushes it to the corner. On there for Tioga. Here's a back set to Sherrill. Tipped at the net. Nobody able to catch up from the Ray Jays, and it's 16-7. And right now, the Ray Jays don't have an answer for the Pirates. 16-7 as Cheyenne Hayes goes back again to server's row. Ball's in play. Brought across by Falk with the catch and release. As Cambry Johnson with a little bit of torque behind that hit. The Ray Jays are able to catch up with it. Now here's a set, back set to by Keever to Sherrill. Here's a block by Sherrill, kept alive by the diving Ray Jays. Now back onto the Tioga side. Up front, here's Cambry pushing it to the corner. Knocks there for the Jays. Here is Falk with it. Now over to Peyton Ron. Peyton Ron blocked at the net, and nobody backed her up in the back row. 16-8. As Kettleson goes back to the Souris Valley Dental Group server's row. Trying to get the Jays back into it. Almost caught the Pirates flat-footed, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Pirates. 701 Cornhole Company down in Mandan, North Dakota can make your outdoor event even more fun with their customized cornhole sets. Contact Brad Anderson at 701cornholecompany.com for your customized cornhole set today. DA Land LLC, established in 2021, providing quality skid steer attachments, farm and ranch supplies, feed and pet supplies in the Tioga area. Short serve. And there's a point for Tioga on the lift. I was wondering if they were going to call that. 18-10. 18-9, excuse me. 18-9. Pirates have doubled up the Ray Jays. There is DeMoe missing the dig on the back corner. She'll come out, and Cambry Johnson comes in and is replaced right away by libero Brooke Bockel. Here's a set over to Cheryl by Kiever as Cheryl slams it into the net. Missed opportunity for the Pirates on that one. Maddox Falk goes back to serve for the Jays. Shy hand sends it up to the rafters. Rons passes it to the front as Kiever brings it across. As Caden Sargent there. And the Pirates thought they had the point, but a diving Ray Jays get the point. Great hustle by the Jays as the Pirates kind of caught flat-footed. I thought they had the point. 18-12. Pass up front to Thea Johnson. Maylee Kincaid spikes it into the net. The serve goes back over to Tioga. Prairie Motors and Stanley, devoting themselves to helping and serving our customers to the best of their ability with high-quality vehicles and service. Matt Evans and his team at Prairie Motors in Stanley, a diamond sponsor for Game Day Media. Here's Peyton Ron, and the ball is tipped, and that point goes to the Pirates. 20-12, the Pirates 5 points away from claiming this match and heading into the District 16 championship match against Kenmare. Served by Cheryl. Ray Jays are down by 8 here in set number 3. And Peyton Ron brings it across. Maya Knox has a chance to throw it down, and she does. 20-13. Kyle Hansen, Thrivent Financial, for all your financial planning needs in Northwest North Dakota. Please call Kyle Hansen or Becky Gettle, your local Thrivent advisors, at 701-628-2384. It's Kyle Hansen and Becky Gettle, your Thrivent advisors in Stanley. There's a point for the Ray Jays. Pirates still lead by 6, 20-14. Cheryl keeps it back into play as Lansford brings it across with the roll. Here's Sargent. Brought across from her knees. Cheryl Hayes bringing it across. And now here is the Pirates keeping it alive up front. Here's Thea pushing it down, and the point for Tioga. A lot of bodies on the floor on that point for both teams. And it's the Pirates needing 4 points to claim the match. They're up by 7. Peyton Ron at the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row. Ball's in play, good serve. Brindley Kincaid brings it back into play. Sargent hits it into the net, and it's 22-14. Pirates needing 3 to claim the match. Peyton Ron at the service line. Good serve again by Peyton Ron. Blocked at the net, and Thea Johnson, a presence on the front row. It's 23-14. Pirates needing 2. Again, another good serve by Peyton Ron. And that ball is out. And it's 24-14. It's match point for the Pirates as Peyton Ron serves for the match. Kind of quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Pirates, Ray Jays keep it alive. Here's a setup to Cheyenne. Cheyenne up in the rafters. The Jays can't come up with it. And the Pirates claim set number 3 to sweep the Ray Jays 25-14 to punch their ticket to the District 16 championship match against the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers that'll be played on Monday. We'll step aside. We'll come back with our DNL Paraffin postgame show after this timeout.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
MC Property and Maintenance LLC is a family-owned and operated property management, maintenance, and handyman company based in Stanley, North Dakota. From lawn care to snow removal and everything in between, let us manage every aspect of your rental, property, and maintenance needs. To schedule an appointment, call Max at 701-641-2772. Rising Sports Academy, based in Stanley, North Dakota, offering skill sessions for basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, and softball. Check them out on Facebook at Rising Sports Academy. At Souris Valley Dental Group, we've been using modern treatment techniques and products to help families smile since 1968. Voted as the #1 dentist in Minot, our team of expert dentists combine their unique areas of expertise and their experiences to create treatment plans that help each individual patient meet their goals. Contact our dental office at 701-419-8900 or visit sourisvalleydental.com to schedule an appointment today. You can count on us to keep your family grinning from ear to ear for many years to come.
At Haugland Insurance Services, we are passionate about protecting farmers and ranchers. With extensive agricultural knowledge, we have the tools to protect your profit and minimize risk. Whether it's crop and livestock insurance or farm property and liability, we protect your hard-earned assets. We can also assist with farm transitions, commercial insurance, life, health, and disability coverage. You work hard to feed our world, and we work tirelessly to protect what you've grown and built. Call us at 701-965-4066 or visit us online at HauglandInsuranceServices.com.
Bank of Tioga, with locations in Tioga and Crosby, North Dakota. Come and talk to us about all your financial needs. Whether it's agriculture, business, investments, or personal banking, we have the right product for you. Call our Tioga Bank at 701-664-3388 or our Crosby Bank at 701-965-6333 to discuss your needs with us. Ignite prosperity at the Bank of Tioga. Located in Crosby, North Dakota, Brad Johnson Insurance has been helping clients find insurance coverage since 1986. Our team is passionate about serving the community in which we live and pride ourselves on getting to know our clients to best serve their needs. Our staff is active in the public and strives to better our community through participation, involvement, and by supporting area events and youth programs. For a quote, visit bradjohnsoninsurance.com or call 701-965-4200 today.
Voted a top 20 critical access hospital in quality, our Level 5 Trauma Center is ready to handle all your emergency needs with our acute stroke ready certification and full lab and radiology departments. Our physical, occupational, and speech therapy providers are available for all your rehab care, and our family practice clinic provides a variety of care including well child and child immunizations. Psychiatric care is available by telehealth, and mental health is available in person. To schedule an appointment, call us at 701-628-2505 or find us on our website at stanleyhealth.org. Montreal County Medical Center, here to help you throughout a lifetime.
At Prairie Home Furnishings of Stanley, Featuring some of the best brands in the industry, such as Ashley, Lazy Boy, and Shaw Flooring, we have something for every room in your home. From furniture to flooring, outdoor living, mattresses, and decor, we truly have everything your home deserves. Shop our everyday low prices locally in store Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturdays from 9 to 4, or shop online anytime at shopphf.com. For all things home, be sure to also follow us on Facebook. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you in part by
Brandy Larson Insurance of Stanley offers home, auto, business, and farm insurance. For a quote, call 701-628-1414. Your local Farmers Union insurance agent.
Murex Petroleum Corporation, a pioneer for today, creating opportunities for all involved. Extraordinary people, extraordinary assets. MurexPetroleumCorporation.com.
Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, family owned and operated since 1986. Offering septic service, portable restrooms and hand wash, sewer jet and camera services. Located in Stanley, North Dakota, call for a free quote at 701-628-2960.
Based in Crosby, North Dakota, St. Luke's Medical Center's mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate health care for individuals and families in cooperation with the area medical community. Our vision is to be recognized as a community leader by delivering quality health care through a team of dedicated professionals in a friendly, compassionate, and growing environment. Recently named one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the country means our community can count on us to deliver services they need now and in the future. To schedule an appointment, call 701-965-6349.
While being the largest leaseholder in the Bakken, Continental Resources believes that we are among the most efficient and cost-effective producers of oil and natural gas on the planet. One of the most effective ways of putting action behind our values is by giving to those communities in which we operate. American Energy is a huge contributor of tax revenue to local, state, and federal governments, an economic catalyst, and a job creator. If you want to work in an environment that encourages teamwork and putting your ideas into action, visit CLR.com to start your new career today.
And as we come back to our DNL Paraffin postgame show, I've got winning head coach Shaughnessy Meyer again on the headset. And I don't know if Game Day Media is a good luck charm, but right now, you every time we broadcast a Tioga game, you have been the winning head coach and been able to come up and talk to us.
Well, we're lucky that you're here for districts, if that's the case. So thank you.
Well, another nice match against your longtime rival, the Ray Jays, and the Ray Jays give you all you wanted. I mean, they were competitive with you, and they didn't back down to you at all after losing 3-0 at senior night in Ray. You still won 3-0, but it was a tough match for the Pirates tonight, I thought.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more of a fight, which is good for our team to be able to see and to be able to fight back and be competitive and get those really big digs and play well.
I thought your team chemistry tonight on the floor with all the different substitutions that you had, I thought the communication was fairly good. I don't know what the right word is. Fairly good. I took English a long time ago.
Either way, we know what you mean.
I think the chemistry was really good there, and as you were talking to each other, it just showed. Sometimes you got some lucky points in there. I thought your serving was excellent tonight, and probably one of the key factors for the win tonight.
Yeah, it keeps our momentum going when we can keep that serve alive. So that was good to see.
I know Cheyenne Hayes and Peyton Ron and from the servers row just did an outstanding job tonight. So that brings you to Monday night, as you'll be pitted up against the number 1 seed, the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, as they try to defend their District 16 championship. Your job is to knock them off, and it's going to be a tough task, but I've said it all along. I think you're one of the better teams in the district, and if you play volleyball, I think you can play right with them.
I think if we come out with each player playing their game to their skill level, it's going to be a good matchup and a competitive fight. So that's what we're hoping for.
I would agree with you there. You've been listening to head coach Shaughnessy Meyer of the Tioga Lady Pirates here in our DNL Paraffin postgame show, and when we come back after this timeout, we'll have the headset on our co-players of the game, sponsored by Brad Johnson Insurance, after this 1-minute timeout.
Founded in 2019, Northwest Therapy Services, located in Ray and Williston, North Dakota, provides speech therapy in our clinics, as well as partnering with local schools and nursing facilities to provide on-site therapeutic services. Our therapists offer language therapy as well as therapy for social, cognitive, communication, swallowing, feeding, and voice disorders. We are dedicated to providing the highest level of quality services. To schedule an appointment, visit nwtherapyservices.com or call 701-568-8255.
At Haugland Insurance Services, we are passionate about protecting farmers and ranchers. With extensive agricultural knowledge, we have the tools to protect your profit and minimize risk. Whether it's crop and livestock insurance or farm property and liability, we protect your hard-earned assets. We can also assist with farm transitions, commercial insurance, life, health, and disability coverage. You work hard to feed our world, and we work tirelessly to protect what you've grown and built. Call us at 701-965-4066 or visit us online at hauglandinsuranceservices.com.
At that camera there, okay? And as we come back to our DNL Paraffin postgame show, I've got the Brad Johnson Insurance Players of the Game from the Tioga Lady Pirates. Thea Johnson, a sophomore for the Lady Pirates, as well as Peyton Ron, a senior captain for the Pirates. And I'll start out with you, Thea. Great job tonight. I thought you did a real nice job from the middle row and had a number of blocks, kind of set the tone for the Pirates tonight as you played a great front row tonight along with your teammates.
Thank you. Yeah, me and Shai, we kind of switched up the rotation a little bit so that we're both blocking now, and that really helped a lot tonight.
Well, I know I don't think I could get it through those forearms of you and Shai. I know that, but you guys kind of dominated the net a little bit tonight, and I thought that really helped propel the win for the Pirates as you set the tone early in set number one with a number of big blocks, and that just makes it easy when you guys communicate well and you start hitting the ball with authority. And when Cheryl and Kennedy can tee up you guys for your kills, I mean, you just got to pound the ball, right?
Yeah, when it's a good pass, we got to get a good set and a good hit.
Yeah, it's a teamwork, isn't it?
It is.
Everybody on the team seems to bring a different skill set to the team, and volleyball especially is a team game, and if you don't have the dig, you don't have the set, you don't have the kill, you're not very successful. And right now the Pirates are clicking pretty good right now.
Absolutely.
And as we move over to our other co-player of the game, sponsored by Brad Johnson Insurance out of Crosby, it's Peyton Ron. A second time that we've had you on the headset, and congratulations. One of the reasons that we named you as our player of the game, Peyton, was the fact that you really were dominant from the Souris Valley Dental Group servers row tonight, and I thought you did a great job throughout the whole three-set match.
Thank you so much. Honestly, serving is my favorite part of the game, so to have a good night like tonight.
I kind of figured that. I mean, you go back with authority, you bounce the ball 3-4 times like you're bouncing a basketball or whatever, and get yourself psyched up to put it in. Sometimes it goes in, but tonight you were dominating from the – I don't know that you had – but maybe one or two that didn't get played, it was just a great way to end the night with a victory for the Pirates tonight, as you have a chance now to knock off the defending District 16 champions, the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, and I've said it all season long that I think you're one of the better teams in the district, and if you guys play with confidence and if you play with authority and you hit the ball hard, because you know the Kenmare is going to hit it hard.
Oh yeah.
And so you and Shai are going to have to be at the front row knocking down some of those kill attempts by Strokeland and Offworth, and it's going to take a team effort, but I think you guys have the grit to be able to do it. You just got to have the confidence in yourself to do it.
Definitely, and we have to play as a team, and especially it helps when the blockers are on time, because that really helps the back row.
You've been listening to our Brad Johnson Players of the Game, Thea Johnson and Peyton Ron of the Tioga Pirates, and we'll step aside. We'll finish up our DNL Paraffin post-game show after this timeout as we come back with more words from our great GameDay Media sponsors.
This GameDay Media broadcast is brought to you in part by Bingaman Construction in Ray, North Dakota, your go-to for all your residential and commercial spray foam and construction needs. Tegan's Interiors, located on Main Street in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook or find them online at tegansinteriors.com. Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, located at 106 North Main Street in Tioga. Visit tiogadrug.com.
This GameDay Media broadcast is brought to you by
Othion Boutique. Shop in person in downtown Tioga or visit their website at shopothion.com.
Nessa Consulting, located in Tioga, North Dakota. Visit nessaconsulting.com.
Frames by Ryan James, located in Crosby, North Dakota. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Frames by Ryan James.
Now. And as we come back to finish up our DNL Paraffin postgame show, again, my name is Randy Peterson. It's been a real privilege to be here courtside this evening with our semifinal night of the District 16 postseason tournament. As our first action of the day, it was the Kenmare Honkers coming from behind after trailing 2-1 to take set number 4, take set number 5 to advance to another District 16 championship match. Their opponent this year will be the Tioga Lady Pirates, as the Pirates just finished sweeping the Ray Jays by a score of 3-0 as they advance to the championship match that is going to be played on Monday. So that sets up the action for Monday. We'll have 3 matches on GameDay Media starting at 4 o'clock with our first serve. We'll go on the air at 3:30 with our pregame show. It'll be in a region qualifying game. It'll be the Stanley Blue Jays taking on the Divide County Maroons. In the second match, that'll follow about 25 minutes after the conclusion of the first match, it'll be the Ray Jays taking on the Powers Lake Brook Central Ranchers. And then 25 minutes after the completion of that second regional qualifying game, it'll be a championship match featuring the District 16 regular season champs, the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers, trying to defend their District 16 postseason title against the Tioga Lady Pirates as the 1 and 2 teams match up for the championship on Monday night. On behalf of my broadcast crew, Caden Keller and Eli Clark, my name's Randy Peterson. My privilege to be courtside. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to Monday night. Once again, it'll be the Honkers and the Pirates playing for the District 16 championship on Monday night. Travel safe, everybody. Good night.
Tonight's Game Day Media broadcast was brought to you by NCC, Tioga Medical Center, The Country Store, St. Luke's Medical Center, Both the Own Boutique, Souris Valley Dental Group of Minot, Haugland Insurance Services, Frames by Ryan James, D&L Paraffin, Brad Johnson Insurance, Bravera Bank, Continental Resources, Northwest Therapy Services, Nesset Consulting Service, Roustabout Service and Insulating, DA Land LLC, 701 Cornhole Company, Bingaman Construction, Tioga Ace Hardware, Border Plains Equipment of Stanley, The Bank of Tioga, Tioga Parts Supply, Surge Aesthetics, The Porch, Tegan's Interiors, Tioga Drug and Soda Shop, Prairie Home Furnishings, Farmers Union Insurance, Larson Vossen Agency, Game 1, Tech Next Solutions, Hidden Beauty Salon and Spa, Montreal County Health Center, Patriot Oilfield Service Incorporated, Brandy Larson Insurance Agency, Prairie Ford of Stanley, Thrivent Kyle Hansen Financial Advisor, Mirex Petroleum Corporation, TNT Measurements Incorporated, MC Property and Maintenance LLC, Rising Sports Academy, Gustafson Septic Service Incorporated, Flag Family Media.